Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for some ESOC Premier League Season 3 action, which should be very tantalisingly tasty to observe. By the first series so far, I'll be casting from the ESOC 3, so it should be really good. Can someone... No, he's been a naughty boy and he needs to be sitting on the sidelines for a little longer, I feel. Fair makes some very interesting comments, let's say. And, wow, we have a nice cast. Yes, I know. Actually came in at a nice live time. These two guys playing, thought, you know what, I can do a live cast, it'd be alright. And then have some dinner afterwards, and then maybe back to my regular Monday night streaming, cracking on with some TCL games, the Trash Can League, the tourney that I've been running. And, you know, game's got to carry on. I'm sure somebody else might do the other series later on, but, yeah. Don't plan to do that one myself. Let's try and it transform. Let's just get this other zero. Oh, that's probably a bit too small, isn't it? Let's get bigger. Yeah, they're probably the exact same size. I'm just tripping, aren't I? I'm just tripping. Yeah, they just one of the zeros looks a lot smaller than the other, but it's okay. Scoreboard's clear enough. It only sits above the timeline, which should be fine. These boys should have started by now. They're probably in the lobby just chilling for the time being. I have said to the both players, you've got a triple, quintuple, sextuple check that you have your spectator, allow your spectators. And I've asked the players for probably just a 1 minute delay. I think is fair. It's a nice compromise between, you know, potential of anti-cheat checking your cav raids coming in, and also for us to not sit around in the lobby for too long, which is okay. You know what? It's a little bit quiet while we wait for the thing, so let's just carry on with the nice little music. Today's music coming from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. So these two players, it's an interesting one, Ezad versus Lukas. I would have to say that it's favoured to be Ezad. I assume this is a Playoff 5 series. I think it's Playoff 5. My initial guess for today's matchup will be that Ezad will come away victorious. 4-1 is my prediction, which is quite a, you know, is quite an unlikely event. You know, I think the most expected value here, obviously as Breeze says, is 2-3-5 a player, but I'm expecting Ezad to just edge ahead a little bit. I've always rated Ezad as a strong player. I think he's been underrated. I feel that Lukas himself has been underperforming in the DE era. But this is a great tournament for Lukas to come back in. Plenty of preparation, plenty of strategy, lots of help with his teammates, and he can certainly play around. Noosh versus Maito, when? When? I don't know when. Probably, maybe sometime tonight. All I care about today is I'm casting this series now, and then I have it afterwards. Yes, this is a live cast, live, hot off the press. And let me hit that refresh button to see if that game is ready in pots to go. There it is. Actually, I've been staring at my screen for too long, so we are ready to go. Let me just turn off the beautiful music. It's been setting the scene very, very well, and we'll get underway. Right, I think everything else is looking pretty dapper. I don't need to change any of the more details. We're all good. And yes, if you're happy to go, I'm happy to go. Let me get my scoreboard up. I'm ready to go. No, cancel that. Minimize this. Oh, speakers, a bit loud. We'll turn them down to this area. And yes, guys, let me know ASAP if the game sounds are a little bit off, a bit loud. I will be checking my own side, but I always appreciate a little bit of help from you guys as well as always, because you guys are all fantastic. Right, let's do it. Ooh, false alarm. So we hop out. go again. False start, guys. Let's see if we get more than 5 seconds this time. Let's check the Discord. Ping Ezad, starting delay now at 1 minute. Cool. It's still the same fucking issue. It's still in 4 minutes. That's a bit of an awkward one, isn't it? Like, that should be increasing each time. It's not happening, boys. It's not happening. Why the fuck is this not happening? What's going on? Yeah, just trying to spectate a game here, and it's not allowing me to log in, or not allowing me to get past the first 5 seconds. Also, you have the wrong overlay. What do you mean by wrong overlay? Oh, you're missing my beautiful face. Is that what it is? Ah, it's not many people. It's not EPL pros. Oh, I've asked the mods where that is. I don't know what it is. It's not my. And then none of them else online, so I have to make do with that. Which I'm sure you know what the Legacy tournament is a worthy cause as well. Yeah, if it doesn't work this time, I'll just restart the game. Hopefully I can get back in as fast as possible, but it doesn't always quite work. Right, boys, we're in this time, and I can confirm this will last a little bit longer. Great! Excellent! Right, that's easy. We'll go for Lukas' point of view to start off with, I think. No, go Ezad because he's top lonely. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for a live casted game here from the ESOC Premier League 3. This is week number 1, and we see the CMC gang taking on the Blockhouse Boomers. And in this matchup, it's the turn of Ezad taking on Lukas. Game number 1 will be played on Mexico, and we see Ezad spawning to the north of the map in the colour blue, playing as the German civilization, where his opponent, Lukas, is opening up as the Chinese and will be spawning to the south of the map in the colour red. Looks like on this map, Lukas has identified the correct trading post for that first pass of experience points. I also identifying how this trading route snakes around in this somewhat S-style shape, and has gone for the far left, and we'll get that TP up just before that pass of XP comes around, and that should help him get his shipments in nice and early. So lovely start here from Lukas. Looks like he'll be chopping behind this to try and get a one village build in the first stage, send in the 2 villas likely behind this and play on. Some real early herding though here from Lukas. Not too sure, I'm in full agreement with that, given he's still got 2 bisons to work with. Meanwhile, looking at Ezad's point of view, does have a treasure, a healer treasure, about to heal up his explorer, which is nice. I like how this is a very strong treasure in my eyes. It allows you to go very aggressive with treasure taking. It allows you to take on damage, not have to kite a micro, because you know you will be healed at 10 HP per second, and a little bit more with the passive healing that explorers get when they stand still. And yeah, Ezad's back up to full HP, trying to move around, look for those large treasures, but unfortunately he won't see anything which will quench his appetite nearby. 70 XP by 2 coyotes is a lovely treasure here for the German player, but on the opposite side of the map. Native Scout, nothing too bigger. Okay, there's a 6 coyote treasure. I think the German player with the healer treasure behind him to back him up, that'd be a very nice one for him to take. Another coyote pup, and 3 sheep are the remaining treasures on the map. So, the healer is a nice addition here for Ezad, but it hasn't quite paid off today. I don't think he's going to get great value out of that because there's not enough good treasures on the map for him to work on behind. So meanwhile, yes, Ezad opening up with Market. Hunting Dogs behind. Has his 5 settler wagons being sent from the 3 settler wagons. Looking to age up here on the 17 Ville population as per standard. Does have 1 cow treasure here, ready to be eaten at a later point. It's only having 80 food for the time being. It's probably not worthwhile killing this beautiful creature this early in the game, especially as it has the potential to fatten all the way up to 500 food, and the German player here is not desperate for that extra source of food income. Let's have a look at the German player's deck here from Ezad. He's a 1v1 fair number 1 player. But when I look at this deck, I think it's a very standard deck. The only thing which I would suggest is different. He does have hand infantry HP instead of team cav attack. 3 doppels here making an appearance over 5 Uhlans possibly. No silversmith in this deck is another consideration. I'm not expecting to see Palatine settlements in a competitive 1v1 deck when you're not going mercenaries anyway. Double settler wagons, double wood, double coin behind this, and in the 3rd age we have 5 doppel southerners instead of 1,000 woods, and in the 4th age we have a 9 doppel card as well, which is a very strong card. I have a feeling that it might be a higher doppel card than 9, but I assume 9 is the highest, otherwise why would Ezad have a weaker card? But yes, I've tried this before actually. Recently I had a game in this matchup, Germany versus China. I was controlling the game, went to the 4th age, teched into Zapka Uhlans, teched into Guard Doppelsonders, and yeah, the China Death Ball still went brr, brr, and rolled me over. So I'll be interested to see if Ezad has the intentions of taking this late, because I feel that the later the game goes on, the more it will swing in China's favour. And I'm sure this game will kind of function around a time-in push in the Fortress Age. We do see defensive racks being dropped here by the German player, which in itself is pretty curious. Maybe looking to try and go for a batch of pikes here to take down that 1 trading post of the Chinese player. But after that, single batch of pikes here is not offering too much offense here. And be resting in Lukas. Lukas will be able to get a very clean, very safe FF behind if that is the play from him. Let's ride with him now. Yes, 700 coin, 700 wood, old hand in production here from Summer Palace. Checking in his deck, we do see standard age 2, no 600 coin, but triple infantry shipments as well as banner school. Having diplomatic intrigue as well in the 2nd age means another 1 single less cards to have in the 4th age. We don't see colonial militia or box of rebellion in the 1st age. Arquebusiers, Changdao, Meteor Hammers, infinite Meteor Hammers and Flying Crow, no Western reforms, no Old Dynasty reforms, and no Manchurian combat, maybe? Another upgrade card in the 4th age, which Chinese players possibly have. Also, no Western refugees. 2 Ulan raid coming in, but we have a full HP thing. Very, very early pike response here. And that's a bit preemptive just for the 2 Ulans. It might make sense if a 5 Ulan batch came in, but that's just going to slow his age up down quite a bit. He could be, that Wonder could be down now being built, but has to wait a little bit longer to try and get those that Wonder being built down, and that's delayed by at least 15 seconds, you'd say. Porcelain Tower come down. He is aware that his own trading post is being sieged by 5 pikes, and German players, they don't have a pike shipment, so he knows there's a barracks at home. He looks like he has scouted it with the Disciple, probably. Oh, no, Native Scouts picked up. My bad. So, yeah, all in all, I'd say early on, Lucas's position here is looking to be pretty decent. The Porcelain Tower, though, with no village nearby, The trees blocking the retreats to the village is a risk here for these villagers. This villager hunting is also risky. Pike's chasing around the Uhlans, but it's actually, you need to protect the Egypt Wonder, not other villagers. One vill goes down here at risk of a second vill going down there, and 2 vills do go down there to the Uhlan. And that was a win there for Ezad. Positional awareness from Lukas with his pikemen away from his Wonder possibly was a possible factor there. Somebody asking for where is the AZY. Both players having troubles locally downloading AZ's folder, and as both players agreed to start at this time, we decided to not mess around with trying to download files, risking out of sync games, and just get on with the show. Who needs an AZY when you have myself keeping up with the action here? 700 woods, 700 gold, 700 woods, and here it looks like the player has gone 3 settler wagons into 700 woods, 700 gold. Using that 700 wood first to get himself extra placements onto the stagecoach line. Does have 1 train post still to be built, but has previously researched stagecoach, so just getting that wood income before. But yeah, a 4 TP stagecoach line as the German player. Lukas, now in the next age, will have to be on the front foot here to try and take this on. I'm sure Lukas is well aware that the stagecoach number is just, or train post number is just increasing here for the German player. He probably sees on his map as well. Yeah, clear vision of the pikemen, clear vision of the stage line. Going in for another raid is Ezad. Village next to the village. Easy garrison there. I'm not even too sure whether Ezad was actually was expecting to get a single vill after that. That was quite oh, it's not greedy. It's wishful thinking is the phrase. Trying to grab villagers right next to a garrison point. Now you do see 3 Changdaos, 3 arcs, 3 bows, and 3 Chang pikemen pushing out. Redcoats intervention was the first shipment here, so 9 redcoat musketeers from the British consulate pushing forward. Another shipment ready to go. And actually, given that there's quite a lot of train posts here, and only Ezad's hopping up to the age up later, we might even see a Changdao shipment coming in as well, just to try and help push in this train post. But we do see the 10 arquebusier shipment coming in to reinforce, to form up behind the Changdaos and the anti-cavalry in the redcoats to try and combat with early skirmishes here for Germany. And wince into the fact we do see 4 Uhlans in the base, and this coin mine around this village and the tree makes these villagers over here very, very exposed, and the Uhlans might come in for another raid. But Cav Batch at home defending will actually catch this. Meteor Hammers with their ranged snare will engage. This Meteor Hammer can engage that final Uhlans, but he's choosing not to. Maybe he's just moving forward. That is in range still. He can attack it. He's not. Has he forgotten that Meteors have a very long range? Whip that Uhlans boy. Whip it hard and get it snared. And I think he should be able to. Yes, there he is. There's the attack. But that one does get the kill, and the other Uhlans do escape. It just reminds me of the meme where you kill like that one Uhlans, and then the other Uhlans runs back to his mates and just brings like another 8 with him, and that's what Ezad has done. His shipment progression, he has sent himself 8 skirmishers behind it, but you get the 3 from the shipment and the 5 batch being trained. Another 5 reinforcing from the stable here. Has managed to get veteran Uhlans as well, so that stable has been continuously working here. 15 vet Uhlans is not something to wince at, but only 14 skirmishers here. Lukas' position here, 13 arquebusiers. Currently on the field quite well, but the remainder of the army has a very strong potential to move in as a unit and Z move. The fact that Lukas has taken a trading post and taken 2 off Ezad. Ezad was leading 4-0 in the stagecoach line. Now only has 1 trading post in advantage to his opponent, significantly cutting the economic lead that the German player had. And actually with the porcelain tower, some strong market upgrades here from the Chinese player when he does choose to go for the market at some point. I'm sure he would with the porcelain tower at some point. Makes sense. I think a lot of Chinese players sometimes overgreed and go for another. Oh, there's some villagers here. That's a surprise even for myself. And yeah, villagers going down. See how Lukas was focusing down the villagers there. They do not have their range resist. The settler wagons with double HP and range resist. Very hard to take down there with arquebusiers. And yeah, eating 1 volley but getting away. 2 vill pick up there. And yeah, Lukas knows that Ezad wants to push out for Hunt. That train post does go down, checking with his army at the moment. 14 skirmishes. That's really unfortunate, getting the just delayed line of sight on the train post kill to revive the Explorer when he really did not want that revived at that point. Quickly getting picked up again for another 90 XP. 18 Uhlans, 6 war wagons, and 14 skirmishes from Ezad's point of view. Ezad training Skirm, a war wagon behind this. We did see the Doppelsonder idea in his deck, but not yet coming into fruition. Meanwhile, Lukas still training cavalry batches here from one stable. One racks. Has he got one racks? Yeah, just one war academy here on total. A couple left over bows. 14 upstairs. Double cav batch moving forward, but getting pushed back by the war wagons. Not really enough Chang Daos here. No Chang Dao shipment was sent here from Lukas, being sent in now, and without that Chang Dao, this kind of Z move here, it feels like it's lacking that anti-cavalry spike. Even the pikemen just blocking and absorbing some of the hand infantry. 1 HP sentries gets in the action. Minutemen being called. Another reinforcement batch of skirmishers. A lot of war wagons still here though. The cavalry will go down, and behind this, for Lucas's point of view, doesn't actually have a significant amount of arquebusiers to deal with the kind of skirm goon competition that the German player has. The redcoats are pretty risky at the moment. They will get picked off by the skirms. There's another batch of Chang Daos, and the Summer Pass about to pop out a batch there from the Summer Pass to reinforce. So yeah, now is 10 officers on the field, but only 7 forward. The remaining Chang Daos, 14, all of them away from the action due to the reinforcements point of view. And I think Lukas is quite happy to see how many of these war wagons he's picked off, but he realizes he can no longer stay. And here comes the 9 Uhlan GG shipments, one of the GG shipments we used to call it. Obviously, the game won't be ending here. I don't believe for the time being 9 Uhlans here is very strong, but it will be backed up here by all the Chang Daos, 14 in total, 11 plus 3. Then a batch of cav from the barracks being trained, still on 1 production facility. Look at this coin stacking for Manchu, but he's taking the fight before the Manchu are being shipped, or even iron troops. He does have iron troops available. And actually, after knocking down these Uhlans, there may be a case for him going into the iron troop instead of the Chang Dao in this situation. One thing I'm worried about for Lukas in this situation is that he hasn't really got an answer for Ezad. If Ezad chooses to increase his skirmisher mass by doing double racks or by going into Jaegers, still only on 1 barracks, 1 stable for the German player. Arquebusiers exposed here. Yeah, a couple Uhlans here, really low HP. And yeah, we'll lose that entire, but now he's down clearly in the skirmisher war, and Manchus won't help him to get back into that situation. Train line being recovered here from Ezad, building his 3rd. Does have his 4th being dropped down nearby. Maybe get a settler wagon to build that. Settler wagons do build quite fast, but it's just more important just to kind of get that map presence, that line of sight, just that kind of also mental block on your opponent. Like, hey, I'm back now to 4-0 train posts. Manchu do come out. 9 Manchurian cavalry archers, but only 3 arquebusiers on the field here. It's going to be tough to come back in. Could try and come in for a side flank to pick off multiple Uhlans and get out before the skirmishers need, or maybe try and go for a raid. And you do know your German player is now looking on the map for coin mines. And yeah, Lukas here, not scouting this. Not Lukas. Ezad. Okay, he actually has scouted this back coin mine, so I'm surprised he hasn't taken this with his villagers for the time being. Does move in. A couple of villagers do go down. He's got real good vision on his next mines. He's seen the 2 mines on his opponent's side of the map as well. So he's out here looking to be fantastically positioned as the game progresses. All stagecoach lines are set to wood at the moment. If he sets it to coin, could be able to squeeze in a Jaeger shipment afterwards, or the 9 Blackfriars. I do see he is remassing his war wagons. Here comes a single cav batch. Manchu push, double cav batch as well actually. No double face armor in for Lukas. He's pushing out, but no real anti-cav here. We do see dot batch in behind here for Ezad. 5 doppels, getting the Z move onto the cavalry, and the quick resignation afterwards. And the first game here going over to Ezad. Nice one. And that must be a bit of a kick for Lukas. You know, it's Lukas, China is his main squeeze. I suppose Ezad's Germany is probably up there with his top played civs as well. I think Ezad is a decent German player. I'm thinking Brits as well when I see him. I've played a couple of team games against him as well. But yeah, very happy performance there for Ezad. Nice and clean. I think for me, the game decides in play here for Ezad was a couple of Ulan raids, but not really overcommitting to the German Ulan idea, but was able to go for the stagecoach line behind on the 700 wood. So went 3 settler wagons, 700 wood, made good use of that wood by going into the stagecoach idea. So as soon as that wood came in, researched stagecoach, built his second one. So at that point, we had 2 stagecoach TPs generating wood to then get him his third and his fourth. He would still have wood available for his third trading post from that 700 wood, but it's just the earliness of that stagecoach allowed him to kind of get the momentum, economic momentum, kind of push his tempo along in the second age. A very respectable age up time as well. Lukas's age up time was delayed by about 15-20 seconds due to the rated Ulans as well, which you have to question his building placement as a top level Chinese player. It's crucial game management. Something I always struggle. I always play down the wonder thinking, oh my god, why have I put it there? I've got no buildings nearby. And yeah, he's actually even getting up in age just... Oh, that's the age 2. No, I remember Lukas aging up before the German player, but actually, yeah, hitting that age up time. Oh yeah, 8 minutes, maybe 7:55 at a push. When ideally, a fast age up here from the Chinese player can reach times of 7:20, 7:30. But it looks like what happens there was the Chinese player went for a second village, maybe chopped in transition, just to get a little bit of extra village population and housing space, just in case the worst happened. But yeah, slight delayed age up, and that allowed Ezad to convert that economic potential into a military advantage and winning that first fight. Let's look at that population graph as well. Yeah, it was a good trade, but the reinforcements there from Ezad, the XP funding the German shipment progression even faster, and keeping that trading post line. And Lukas's momentum just fizzled out and unable to get a well-rounded composition due to how the Chinese batches and shipments work. Right, let's hop into the next game. Hopefully the next game is up on the servers, ready to go. All regions spectator mode. Let's do it. There's Ezad's Spiel. We're on career for game number 2. Let's do it. We do see some India versus Inca action. Interesting. I know that obviously Lukas been a bit of a not this again. Come on, DE. Come on. Don't do me dirty like this. Let's Oh no! I've just clicked some random person's game. Oh, banter. Okay, it's okay. I feel fine. We managed to get into their game previously, so I've got full confidence we'll eventually get into their game at a later point. Yeah, I think you're right, Sensei. I'm not used to seeing this matchup. You can kind of say that both these civs are slightly undercommon picks. I mean, maybe India more common than Inca. I feel that just Sepoy Agra Fort does very, very well. And it looks like we've successfully joined, and the game lasts longer than 5 seconds. Hooray! So Ezad leading the series 1-0. Will be spawning to the west side of the map in the colour blue. I believe it's a team who picks their civilization first in game 2 and alternate picks afterwards instead of winner picks. I'm unsure of who would manages to pick first. I'm going to assume it's the CMC, but I will be corrected by the chat if somebody in the chat does know. So Inca here for Ezad. He's going to look in north, trying to find those big wood treasures, and he does come across that 75 wood. His opponent Lukas here, playing as the Indian civilization. Very interestingly here, opening it up with an age 1 trading post. I'm a very beginner player in the Indian civilization, all I can really do is just age up, maybe mid-map aggro, defensive aggro, and then kind of go for the wood trickle, consulate, Ottoman consulate, that play, and push on from there. I'm not really too sure how the macro fits around the age 1 trading post. I mean, I know you still chop wood, you still hunt, and you age it probably one build later. Everything comes a bit delayed, but the momentum from that trading post does come back to you as the game progresses. But it's a bit of a weird one because I feel for Inca, they do progress very well as the game goes on themselves. The Cancha Boom, the Chincha Bruin, and then when they do have, let's say, their Kurari Poison upgrade for the Jungle Bowman, a bit of Chimus running around the map as well, that's when the Incas get pretty strong. They certainly are very weak to timing attacks. So interesting to see how a slightly greedier India player here will do versus a Civ which enjoys kind of prolonged games and boomier games. Do see the early Age 1 Cancha House into the Queen's Festival to get out that 4 batches of villagers. Although I wouldn't say this player is a pro, I have been watching and enjoying Gimmick playing the Inca, delaying the Queen's Festival until the age up has been started, prioritising a little bit of tempo in the Incan playstyle, and then once the age up commenced, then research that 180 food, wood and coin treasure to get your 4 vills. But more importantly, you can start sending your first age 2 shipments that much earlier. Yeah, that's true. 45 coin in base is very, very nice. He's got 40 food behind this tree line as well. Probably couldn't see it too well, but that's okay though. He's just found himself a 75 food treasure. Also, a bit of XP here from the Black Panthers. Nothing to sniff at. That wood treasure though still standing, and looks like they've also didn't go for the wood treasure as well. Looks like neither player wanting to go for a treasure contention this early in the game. It's also quite an interesting matchup for the simple fact we have a Spearman Explorer versus Double Cavalry Explorer. Even in the first age here, we do see a bonus versus Cavalry, which I do believe these elephants do have the Cavalry attack even in the first age. Yes, there's the Cavalry attack. So if the Incan Explorer makes contact with these bad boys, unfortunately, the Incan Explorer will beat these, even in a 2v1 situation. A lot of extra HP, strong melee resist as well. These Indian elephants, they have only ranged resist, so that's why if you find an elephant explorer in hand combat versus other explorers, they don't actually do as well as you often think. Greater Gator saying he's never noticed that this Spearman Explorer has multipliers versus cavalry. Every explorer has a military type, so this is hand infantry, heavy infantry, infantry. European explorers are, I believe, they are classed as heavy infantry. Did you know that the African explorers are classed as Dragoon-style units, which I find very interesting. It's a bit of a strange one. So yeah, those cavalry explorers from Ethiopia and Hausa, they are weak to skirmishers, and you can pick them off from range pretty strong. But I would certainly still take that to have that African explorer over any other explorer in the game. That is an S+++ tier unit, fundamentally broken, strong European attack with the mobility of a Sioux Explorer with the strongest ability in the game. GG devs, GG. Yeah, no, good point, Gate. You could expect that the European explorers would have a multiplier bonus versus hand cavalry, but you could kind of say maybe they're like the Navajo riflemen of just not having any multipliers for their range and for their melee attack, which is absolutely fine. Back to the more important stuff of the actual game, we do see Inca here going for 600 wood, double war hut forward first, actually chopping a lot of wood in continuation. So this wood here being shipped looks like it's going to be used to fund a Cancha House boom instead of being aggressive. I like how the war huts are mid-map securing map control, but actually the resources it secures is only 1 hunt, tree line, maybe 1 coin. These hunts at the top side is actually still somewhat unchallenged here from Inca, and India can make their claim to push to the northern side of the map. Defensive aggro there does actually have 3 hunts in base with a 4th hunt near that trading post. This is a very nice map spawn here for India with some great early hunting coming on. And yeah, you can see how Lukas has been very keen and diligent with his hunting, pushing the hunts in towards his base. And yeah, looking absolutely fine here. So there's the Chincha Bruin, Jungle Bowman
opening here. Wood's been sent forwards. I'm not too sure that was a... No, it's not a mistake, because... Okay, so it looks like Ezad built a Tambo Travois and then sent his war huts to the front line on the age up as a result from this war hut. But I want to just assume he's forgot to switch the waypoints back to his home town centre for the wood shipment. It's not a big deal. It's not going to be the end of the world. He does have the resources. He is spending them now. He's actually already spent them as well. Yeah, there's a catcher built there, and maybe one more catcher forward. But yeah, this kind of boom here from Inca is going on. Meanwhile, let's ride with Lukas. There's the 300 export. So he's gone for, I believe, distributism, foreign logging, 300 export, and just relying on that extra trading post and the experience it provides to kind of push forward this shipment progression. He still will get the 4 villagers here from the Ottoman consulate, because he has enough export for that. Won't be able to afford the Ottoman hussars as well, but I don't think that he really minds, because he's not pushing for the time being, he's just sitting back. Training Gurkhas though versus Inca is not probably the most ideal situation. You see, I don't think Inca really here will be training too many pikeman units. Jungle Bowmans in a skirmisher war will trade very well versus Gurkhas due to the poison. Both have range resist. Gurkhas are probably much more expensive than the Jungle Bowmans are, and obviously the poison for the Jungle Bowmans mean that they win the kind of trade over time. You're expecting some sort of like Jungle Bowman Chimu spam here from the Incan player. And I've played this matchup very recently actually. I had great success going Sepoy Urumi playstyle. I'm not too sure Lukas will be allowed to get to the 4th age and try and go for the honoured Sepoy Urumi spam. But I don't really imagine that he'll be wanting to train many more Gurkhas from here. Here comes a 4 Chimu runner raid. The Sepoy's pushing back, but the Gurkhas won't be able to assist too much. And yeah, due to the lack of snare function for these units, they're able to get out very, very quickly. I think Oneville went down there. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. So Blanky Filters is only just coming now, going for Imperial Bureaucracy. Could be a case that he does have the market. He could try buy and trade around resources. Now, I'm looking at this number, very, very flat, and I know that India, they do have, you know, strong wood strong wood gathering villages, and yeah, 0.6 wood per second compared to 0.66 coin per second. Yeah, absolutely right to not trade in the market here. Very good play there from Lukas, and not often in a position where I'm thinking about that trading mechanic with a wood bonus villagers. But yeah, here comes another Chima raid. One double going down. Good split there from Lukas. That was a very intentional split, you can tell. Unless the Z move there got very, very lucky. Agent up now with the Charm on our gates. So looking to go for a Mansabdar. No, yeah, Mahut on the edge up. Potential into Mansabdar units behind. Could have gone really something along the lines of Taj Mahal for the coin. And then trying to do something with the coin on the edge up. Maybe use Ceasefire to try and get in a little bit closer to the Incan player. I suppose Ceasefire doesn't block any fire from war huts or strongholds, so even though thinking about it, I dislike that play. Yeah, Mansabdar works quite well here. Obviously, the Charm Gate allows you to kind of get a stronger army as the game goes on. So we're thinking of the British East India Company upgrade. We're thinking Brit Consulate. We're thinking Mansabdar, Gurkha, Mansabdar, other units as you're training as well, and trying to get that tech advantage rolling. Something I'd like to draw your attention to, we do see double Jesuits on the map as the available natives, recently getting a good buff to one of their units, Smokeless Powder. So for 250 food, 250 coin, plus of course the 200 wood investment for the train post, all gunpowder units, plus 10% damage, also buffs Artillery by 5, so your Siege Elephants are stronger, your Gurkhas are stronger, your Sepoys are stronger, your Zambraks are stronger, your Redcoats are stronger as well. It's a huge tech. It's a tech which has no effect here for the Incan civilization, because they don't have access to any gunpowder units, so you could say it's a Civ flavour, you could say it's unbalanced. Who knows? Interesting tech that is. and maybe something for Lukas to think into if the game goes much longer. We do see 3 town centres northern side here for Ezad. He aged up as well, so he went. Let's say he went. He's going for infantry speed actually. So he went for 300 wood, 600 wood, Chincha Brewing, 700 gold, kind of eco semi FF. You could call it a fast fortress. I only really trained a couple Chimus and 1 batch of bows. Let's call it eco semi FF. Maybe I should allow Ezad to join the glorious semi FF gang of the ESOC Challenger League. 2 town centre Travois first card. Utterly ridiculously strong shipment there. 2 town centre Travois. Like Portuguese H4 is looking a bit like, hey, that's our special unique shipment, and the Inca's like, yeah, no, okay, get an age earlier. I would like to see, though, a community plaza with 2 or 3 villagers dancing. I know you need the foods to try and produce from 4, but I'd rather have 3 town centres producing at, let's say, a 25% faster rates, because those villagers get out onto the map a little bit faster. They can gather a little bit faster as well. And then those villagers gathering out faster can contribute to the eco a little bit faster, and just it makes the effectiveness of dancing much stronger. Especially if you've got a huge food eco here from the Chincha Brewing and all that good stuff. Shipment behind here. He doesn't have Hurricanes or the other ones. I keep forgetting what they're called to counteract. The siege elephants. I suppose it's not really like classical cannons, like falconets. A couple, not many cavalry units, but the poison actually racking up and killing that final hussar there. Stronghold present. But unfortunately, the siege elephants outrange the stronghold by quite a considerate amount, forcing the jungle bowmen forwards to try and do this. And the thing is, you've got all these town centres working, very strong defensive units, buildings you could say, but they're spaced out. They're not really working together. And maybe an argument of 3 town centres in a line in this way would be a much more of a stronger defensive position, and could hold out to the siege elephant attack a little bit longer. We do see disciplined sepoys with a Mansabdar sepoy reinforcing behind. Let's play the game of spot the Mansabdar Gurkha. There it is. I've won the game this time in a record time of 5 seconds. Sometimes it has taken me a good 2 minutes to try and find the Mansabdar Gurkha. And by that time I look up and my army is completely totaled. Ezad's point of view, just want to check with him. He's still on the 1 consulate. He's going... He does have a cav batch. I think he may want to go for a second cav batch. Looks like he's really prioritising that line of sight bonus he gets. Gets to see everything really clear. He gets to see another war hut. So he's going to push his siege elements a bit forward and make sure that second war hut gets denied, because that one takes bonus damage. He does see the push coming in, so he can pull back his units as he needs to. Zed move with his Gurkhas. Another batch of units going down there. Please tell me that's not an 8-vil shipment there from Ezad. He's just sending Chimu runners. They've just garrisoned in there. Chimus get sent, but they get sent to the 4 town centre that commits on. But these are only colonial Chimu runners. We have elite plumed, elite jungles, but no upgrades on the Chimus, and they go down pretty quickly to the disciplined sepoy. Disciplined Gurkhas. The sepoys here, high HP and attack. That should be more than enough to do what needs. Spearmen behind the trees getting picked off here. Siege elephants still unreally challenged. We have Incan Big Button being called here from the 4 town centre. But yeah, sepoys on top of the spearmen, really tanking all the damage. Mansabdar, not Mansabdar, the Mahout goes down very quickly, but it's a fine trade because not many jungle bowmen are remaining. So the need for many elephants are not anymore that great, and yeah, the final bowman is getting absolutely just shredded by this Mahout. Siege elephants here working so hard. It's such an amazing shipment here from what India have. Very, very strong anti-building artillery, and Ezad gets that quick resignation afterwards, and the series is tied up 1 apiece after 2 games. So maybe that was just a case of Inca going a bit too greedy. Lukas pushing out with strong units. Did send in the Mansabdar. I keep saying Mansabdar, but it's not Mansabdar, it's just Mahouts. I mean, he could train a Mansabdar Mahout if he really wanted to kind of like say like, hey, look at me, I've got a big boy unit on the field. But yeah, just eco again, a semi. Both players really going for an eco semi FF behind here. Lukas, age 1 TP, then pushing forward the shipment progression of foreign login, export into 700 coin, not even thinking about trying to stage 2, going for like a Sepoy sour composition to do with lots of, bow pike. I think that's a strong composition here. Just wanted to age up fast, using the Agra Fort as an actual passageway to be even more greedier than he can be with the Taj Mahal, not having to train many units. Did train a few, a few Gurkhas came out, but using that as a big block for him to kind of boom behind. Really good herding as well. You did see all these hunts are basically gathered up by now, but that just minimises all the walking time required and just allowed him to field more units out, and yeah, overpowered with the siege elephants early on. Mansabdar units coming behind the discipline techs. Looks like he never went for the British East India Company, which I suppose from Lukas's point of view is if you have food available to send your more impactful shipments, like your 2 Mahout Lancers, your 3 Mahout Lancers, your 2 Siege Ellies, and your Urumi, you certainly got to go for those shipments pretty much every time. That's what it feels like, and that's what he's done. The Siege Elephants into 2 Mahouts. Maybe he went, he went 2 Siege Elephants, I think, first, then 8 Gurkhas to kind of re-bolster that mass. Went Discipline Gurkha, Mansabdar Gurkha, and then came in at the end with the 2 Mahout Lancers. So the first one from the age up went down this side of the town centre, and the remaining 2 come in reinforcements, 4 HP, just to clint the remaining bowmen, and yeah, secure the game. Ezad's open here of Mass Capture House Chinchaburin. Yeah, it looked good. Good build, pretty crisp. The 600 wood was efficiently used. Maybe the market came down a bit late though, in all things considered. But trying to age up with an Eco Semi-FF into many more town centres. Yeah, I think maybe the town centres are possibly a bit too spread out. The Jesuit mission as well, they do have Flying Buttress, building HP 20%. Now, if you're playing a very defensive game as Inca, maybe something to consider, but I think as a tech, it's quite expensive, especially if your buildings can't challenge Siege Elephants due to the range limitations. Villager build time as well, fit minus 15%. Yeah, some techs here for both civs. These 2 techs are for Inca, and this tech here is for the Indians, definitely. I like that. It was a good game. Enjoying that. Military population. Oh yeah, that's not even close. All resources as well, very close. He's slightly ahead, but India keeping up nicely due to that build. Right, let's move on to game number 3 of this Play All 5 series. Got to check my lovely Discord. Yep, that's all good. Confirmed. So game 3 is going ahead as we speak. So all non-rank matches, all regions, spectator mode, and there's Ezad's Spiel. And yes, we're on Gran Chaco for game number 3. I'm sad, guys. I'm very sad. No Dutch has been picked to this game. Makes me want to enter the stream right now, unfortunately. Jokes. I see plenty of Dutch. Probably too much Dutch for my liking, because I obviously play many of it. But yes, Gran Chaco here. Game number 3. It's going to be India versus the Aztecs, with Ezad playing as the Indian civilization. Spawning to the north of the map, splitting up his elephants like a good boy. He's done his map homework, he's map aware, but there's 2 sets of 2 llamas around the 2 ponds, which spawn in a symmetric fashion. As the map here, Gran Chaco is a very, I like to say it's a mirrored map. So he's done very well. He's found this pond. He knows that the other pond's here. Can't wrap his way around the northern side. Let's look at scouting passing. He's gone down one side. He looks at this treasure, thinking actually it might be a good treasure. He knows that he's kind of zoned off potential explorer pushing this way. Okay, now I'm being a bit curious. Why hasn't gone for the other 2 llamas here? Because it is such a huge thing. He's just actually ceded control to the Eagle Scout, which I think Ezad could have been a little bit more on the ball there. He's going back for it. Does Ezad know where he's going? He's like, oh, where should I go? Let's go back to the ponds. And yes, he's now searching the same way he's scouted, but unfortunately, he won't see those llamas go this way because he's already previously scouted the treasure and the 2P settlements. But he's bringing his Elephant Explorer here, looking to try and take this 100 XP treasure, which is a very high level treasure. But by the time he's killed both alligators, which will provide him XP, the house have all been trained as well. That 100 XP treasure won't actually really affect his Age 1 play that much. So yeah, Aztec's getting away with 4 versus 4 on the livestock boom, and I think Aztec there will be very, very happy. Lukas picking up their 100 coin, but also converting the pirate as well. Very nice. Then kind of ganging up on the one remaining outlaw blowgunner. Not too sure where he can really utilize that coin early on. He does just have that 100 wood, 100 gold left over. And I think instead of going for the markets here, I think Lukas is just saving that wood for the war hut in transition. Because there's no point getting a market if you've got nothing to really research there. Some people just get the market for the sake of getting the market. I think Lukas's decision to leave that wood, having the experience stats still going on by the warrior priest, is a very calculated decision here. And let's see if his he could still make it a market in transition. Because he maybe wants to hit a 1-0 earlier time, and he does have llamas to help that up. So if he so chooses, but it looks like he's going to age up after his villager. Actually, may have overgather food by quite a bit here as a result, but that's all fine. Maybe yes, no, maybe it's going to get close, but does eat one more llama just to ensure that no idle time it is, and the Egypt's in queue behind this. And he's going to age up the messenger fast age here, sending villas forward, likely to build a war hut. Off the first villager goes. And one vill on its own feels exposed, especially versus double elephants. We do a decent amount of siege attack combined 20. Jun building a foundation times by 4, so it's 80 attack. And I don't think the villager builds more than 80 per each elephant swing. So there's a potential here if the elephants were on top of the villager to actually take down that war hut. So building with one villager here is risky, or maybe that one vill is out forward just to try and get a bit of bait going. So he's just aged it behind, going for 3 warrior priests, and could turn his attack more defensively. Yes, there's one war hut being built. Actually gets built quite fast here. I'm not too sure the Indian elephants could actually take it down. They're searching for it. They're doing their very best to search for it. And I think Lukas, all things considered, is actually quite fortunate of how this is going. Will he come across it? Will he see it? Yes, no. Oh no, I've hit the wrong button. Yes, that's what. Nearly hit the triple speed, but we're back to normal speed. He must have seen it. Okay, he sees it now, but bit too late to try and go in and take down the war hut. So wants to go back and actually take these coin treasures down. We do see 40 coin, 50 coin in base and market. Just imagine if he was playing as the Duchess game. 90 coin in base. That is clearly an OP civ for this OP map. I've completely forgot about this treasure army here for Lukas. Yeah, that would be okay. So yeah, so one vill forwards building the war hut is absolutely fine because you have enough units here to defend. I know that certainly the pirate and the blowgunner here will get countered by the elephants, but the elephants can't stop the war hut and kill the army at the same time. They kind of have to pick which one they want to do. But yeah, no, it's all fine. Back to Lukas's point of view, we do see 3 warrior priests into 700 wood now. Needs to get a house down. A bit idled here. He's just actually cancelled the coyote to get a villager in queue. Looking to get a house down. Probably going to build it with like 3 villagers very fast. There you go. How did I just predict that's what he's going to do? Looks like we've got the same ideas of which villas we would pull off in that situation. A side house here from Ezad with 1 villager on the coin. Is this because he's anticipating a rush? Maybe he wants to try and hide the housing. Maybe the number of houses kind of gives a clear indication of how many units you want to train, but another house is being thrown down in base. There's the Aztec triple experience treasure tech being researched in the marketplace. 5 coyotes, 10 Ontantons. Slingers being no, it's only 9 because of DE changes. Market back. There's Hunters coming in behind this. So this is like a delayed push here from Aztecs. He aged fast and messenger to get in, the more shipments. Elephants actually moving far. They're exposed. That's risky. That is. He might get lucky with the slingers and a bit of a stomp, but the coasters may actually run behind and pick the elephants off. That's huge to have them hanging from the army that far away. I would say that's a bit of a potential control issue there from Ezad, but it manages to probably lose one villager in exchange and losing both elephants. And I think in a crucial moment like this, I'd rather take the one vill going down than losing my elephants out in the middle of the map. Coyotes is running around the Agra fort. Gurkha's moving back to the sepoys. More reinforcing Coyotes. Looks like he's want to try and take this. Quite happy. Only a couple of sepoys here, but this is where you get to micro the Entente slingers onto the sepoys one by one. I think it should be enough. Oh, it looks like it's not. It's close. It's certainly close. Maybe yeah, 2 volleys onto one to each unit, and the Coyotes are being focused down here by the Agra. Town centre is fully staffed. Another slinger shipment coming in behind us. Let's ride with Ezad. Consulate. Ottoman's coming in now. Will provide him, allow him to go to Ottoman consulate, Minutemen. We do see double batch of Minutemen behind us, sentries and rifles. European Minutemen possibly on the way behind us. Sepoys and Gurkhas actually now working quite nicely behind. And the elephant's still full HP, or 1 full HP to get the stomps on the slingers behind this. Aztec exploring cover mode, tanking very, very nicely. 1 sepoy being trained. Probably won't be enough though. And yeah, looks like the remainder of the slingers do get out. Another slinger shipment being sent. It's going to come back in again. Ottoman Hussars do come out. Does he have enough for Ottoman Minutemen? I don't think he does, actually. It's 200 export. He's chosen to go for the Bostanchi Hussars, which actually, you know, linked up with the elephants. Is very nice. Look at this. He's got 12 HP. He's going to be healed up. Well, this is clutch. That is so huge to have your elephants still standing after an engagement like that. You can just never overvalue. And the elephants healing this monk, the monks healing the remaining sepoys. That is so big. That is huge. I really like that. So we're 27 villager eco, decent markets coming behind. We do see foreign login and distributism. So let's probably add another good 7 villagers to that in total, maybe 6. Let's go with 7. I'm feeling. Let's go with 6 vills. 6 vills to that total, up to 33. Good architects. On with Lukas. He's only got 25 villagers. He does have a couple warrior priests, but it's not enough. He's going back in for another push. He's still going in quite aggressive now. Not having another shipment ready to go. Bostanchi Hussars. Oh, they're raiding. Oh no, that's not what you want right now. That's especially, you know, cavalry units versus, you know, coyotes and maces would be absolutely perfect. Not enough export here behind to go in for those consulate Minutemen. And the coyotes on top of the sepoy line. Villagers having to run to the Agra forts. The Agra fort's still getting good damage on the Entente slingers being mixed up. There's the Minutemen being called. The Bostanchi Hussars actually get a huge raid on villagers though. So actually, all things considered, is a bit of a mixed bag as a result. 5 villagers gone down here for Lukas. There's the 6th coming down. Maybe the 7th as well. Down to 18 villagers. Probably train a few as well. So it might be a 10-vill rage. Oh my god. The action all over the park. Consulate Minutemen pushing back that final push. Agra still standing. Town centre still standing. And total villager count here for Ezad 27. So couple going down. Look how low HP these vills are. But managing to survive. That's a sign of great villager micro behind this. The warrior priests come off the fire pit to push away. And Coyotes coming back. They've like, I've had enough of these Hussars. Let's get revenge. And looks like all 3 will get snared. And but they've certainly done their job. I thought having them in that fight at home would be crucial. But again, raiding while attack is happening is such a strong tactic. You know, most likely players will only focus on one area of the map. And always Coyotes coming back to defend. I think Ezad would have actually had a good eye for the amount of coyotes there. We may actually see transition to Zambrak behind here for Ezad. Looking to see what he's up to. He's actually going to go sour sending. That's okay. I think I'd rather see Zam's being trained. Sour's being sent absolutely fine because he do have a large mass of sepoys. I think he's just going to go with the sepoy Sour. Maybe not feeling that sepoy Zambrak is really needed, but after now seeing all his coyote runners may change considerations. The drag back here is not great here. That's pushed his Minutemen to the back line. Low HP, it actually will get picked off very, very quickly. Ideally wanted them a little bit away so that when the sepoys do retreat, they don't get basically shown to the full face of the slingers there, but it's okay. Here's a batch of 9 Sours, and all of these Sours will get them into snared. Coyotes moving in, but actually they're thinking, hang on a minute, they don't counter anything here. They trade worse as the Sours. Sours might want to push back a little bit and get the sepoys into hand combat. Having them still in range combat is not the ideal, and there's no Sours on top of the Entente and slingers here. A couple of Zams have gone a long way, and actually overall you could argue this is a decent trade here for the Aztec army. Certainly getting some good value for that exchange. Yeah, you're right. Good shout. No attack dance here for Lukas. Lukas there. And that fight is still unexperienced. Just trying to push forward his shipment progression that little bit more. I would encourage all Native American Civ players to make great use of their fire pit and keep on tabs of what dance they want to ensure. But Agrafort getting some great damage here on these spaced up low HP on Taunton Slingers. Each volley, certainly getting a pick. A couple of Puma Spearmans here as well, but another batch of Sours being trained here by Ezad. Ezad going for a Rajput now behind this. It does have some wood to spare, but Rajputs are very expensive on the food. I kind of would still feel comfortable if he just sold that and went for another, just cancelled that, sold a little bit of wood and went for another batch of sepoys. Big raid on the food line top side, and he has to kind of push out to try and protect this. Does have berries in base to gather from, obviously. Asian civilizations can gather berries at a decent speed due to the upgrades. Here comes the batch of 5 Rajputs. Notice going to try and just, well, I was going to say focus the on down, but a couple onto the Coyotes doing some good damage. Well, villagers being pulled into defense as well, but it's only just a couple sepoys behind this, and the Coyote run a play here from Lukas. That being tagged up as the upgrade has come in Coyote combat. They're very strong units, and yeah, they all seem to run back to the Agrafort town centre. And the game continues. The score lead in Lukas' favour, even after losing many vills. Bostanchi Hussar coming back for another raid to the same spot where it all began. Aztec player of 28 villagers, but has boomed ahead with the 5 villagers shipment being sent. Ezad 32 vills, 17 idols though. That's the difference. 17 idle vills, and yeah, it looks like he's accepted that he may want to have to go onto the berries for the time being. Villagers, they do have their civil servants, so gather a little bit fast. The lack of movement time actually makes these berry gatherers quite efficient. Oh no, has Lukas lost all those vills again? He's down to 28. Maybe he's pulled a couple off this way onto the hunt. That might be what happened there instead. Explorers back up, they need to get away. They can't be left in the open like this. And yes, they're being grouped with the cavalry moving back. Villagers getting to the town centre. I'm still waiting for the cavalry upgrades here from Ezad to come in. He does have a shipment ready to go. Potential for cav attack, potential for desert terror. I think counter attack is a much stronger shipment. Still train a second batch of Zamza. Do the Zambraks even have a multiplier versus these shock infantry? I know that they've recently been working on the unit tags. Huge stomp there on the Coyotes. That's great. The splashdown is doing some decent damage as well. Backed up by the aggro, and the Sours are moving on top of the slingers. But once again, the Coyotes there just forming enough of a meat shield to block access for the cavalry of the Indian player on top of the Entente and the slingers. And the Aztec player backs off again. The thing is, though, that push there didn't have enough impetus to really mess with the eco. 40 idle time, 36 villagers, plus the 6 vills from the trickle, obviously the double wood trickle, versus Lukas's 31 vills in consideration of the only Native American market upgrades. He probably only has hunting dogs. Yeah, no place of mine's been researched. Ezad's point of view, he's got all the text he can research apart from imperial bureaucracy. I think it looks like he's got his Flumen ditching, but he's got no coin villages at the moment. They're just moving across. He's got one castle blocking, protecting the silver mine. These villas are going to go for a bit of a wander onto this silver mine, looks like. And actually, Coyote's coming over and... Ooh, this is going to be a huge raid. There's no cavalry nearby whatsoever. There's a couple of Sours going for a raid. But unfortunately, all those villagers are going to go down and bite the dust. Yeah, Postanchi raid down to the south. Sour raid on the other side as well. It's going to be... And finally, we've got the Zambrax. I can check. He does have a 2.5 multiplier versus hand shock infantry, which is the Coyote runner, I believe. We do have the hand... Oh, it's shock infantry. Hand shock infantry? Ooh, does that tag actually technically work? I know Coyotes is a very unique unit in that sense. It should do. It should do. Or I hope it does for
Ezad's point of view. Certainly the idea of going into Zams here makes sense, and could even just go Zam Sour, actually, of all things considered with this unit composition that Lukas is going for, and the fact that there's double camel upgrades here for the Indian Civ. Yeah, Sour's going behind there with the camel attack here, getting some much stronger attacks onto the villagers as well, and another Vil goes down. No great cuts here for Lukas. Puma Spearman going to get out as well. Sassar's on top of the Vils. Nice split there. Nearly got a triple kill. Does get a triple kill. So in the space of a couple of seconds, Aztec is down another 6 villagers here. I'm sure there's one Vil went down over this area as well. And so another successful raid here from Ezad. He's going to pull back out. And Lukas, his patience must be stretched here. He's annoyed. He's going to go in with Coyote Slingers. May want to leave a rogue Puma Spearman around on the hunt. But he's kind of stretched. He's got Hunt here. He's got Hunt over there. He's not having all his villagers in one place, which makes it much harder to kind of protect the raid in. There's the Zams. Can actually work this out. I don't actually think... I think they saw their bonus. Yeah, that was more than... well, 19... That's 80 just base damage, actually. It's quite hard to tell if the actual techs are working correctly. He's only got 10% range resist. High HP, I think that's working correctly, as in the multipliers for the Zams should work. So that's all fine. Remember, both Minutemen being called, Ottoman Minutemen being called as well. Went for a second batch of Bostanchi. Should really be on the Brit Consulate now to buff his units. Zam's getting caught, and the thing is, with extra line of sight that the Ottoman Consulate provides, that is, yeah, not great to see, but it's okay though. You know, the eco from himself is going to help him remass, and Eagle Mutt will be proud. Look at this, 13 Rajputs. Dravidian and Martial Arts has been sent as well, which means these Sours up to Big Boy 29 attack, so... Rajput Sour versus Aztec. You never thought you would see that composition in competitive gameplay. The Sepoys look to be trashed here now in compared to these Rajputs and Sours. Rajput's going front line going, hey, you want to take me on? Sour's coming from behind. Another batch of 5 from the thing that should be popped straight onto the units. Get the snare in. Actually, the Coyotes taking the bait. They think they can take this on, but Rajputs are going to melt the Coyotes. They've got great stats, and yeah, this Aztec army is not going down. It's hard to call. I'm having a great engagement there for the Indian player, but the Mace Sultan's behind, providing great range of fire and ripping through the heavy infantry. But we have to go back once again to our argument that the Indian eco is ahead and should be able to mass, but no unit ships behind this. It's just the aggro fort is keeping him alive, really. That's basically all that's keeping him going. Does have a castle on the east side, but no villagers nearby. Vil's exposed over here. Needs a castle desperately down here to protect himself. Castle does come down, being dropped on the west. Villagers back onto the berries. And this mess of a game still continues. Now, a batch of sours being going. Lukas, is he under raid? No raids just yet, but 39 villagers for the Indian player. We do see 29 here for Aztec, sending coin. No real, and well, he's got 3 full fat llamas plus 600 coin. There's actual potential here for the Aztec player to get to the next age and tech into elite slingers and elite Coyote runners, and then train the Eagle Run Knights behind to really, make a strong competition unit versus the Indian force, especially with stage H2 behind this. And with 28 villagers on the food behind this, a villager just gathering on the coin, that should be enough to actually get him to that destination if he so chooses to. Mace Sultan's making good use of that final amount of wood, but maybe actually want to cancel this, honestly. I think I don't know. Does he keep this H2 play going? Because I think he's just continuously slamming into the same problem each and every time. But you can push the Indian player back to the aggro fort, but can't really do too much afterwards. And aggro units, Zam's triple card now. Yeah, there's a 4-time multiplier versus cavalry and 3 times a multiplier versus the Coyotes. So it's much more impactful versus Coyotes than than it would be versus other cavalry-based units. It's going. It feels like he's doing it. Yeah. He's going huge batch of Pumas here. Okay, I think he wants to try and move away from Coyote runners and go to more Slinger Puma. Another huge raid, but there's Warhut nearby, and actually now having Coyote runners chasing down Sours. Coyote runners
They are a little bit slower. Yes, they are camel units, so they have very high speed, but I don't think camels in real life run faster than horses. I don't know. But here's catching more of the Rajputs, the Explorer out on the open as well. That's a huge pickup. The Sawas chasing back home. Lots of resources in the bank here for the Aztec player. You can finish this batch full on. So there's another 10 spearmen out in the field. 13 spearmen. Up soon it would be 23. Does have 22 slings as well. So kind of a bowpike army composition here. Ezad dropping down a rice paddy at home. Can't really push out onto resources. Only resources he has access to on the left-hand side. Villagers going down actually. A lot of will go down. No, just one goes down. That's amazing because Ezad, he's got his greatcoats. I'm impressed. Cavalry here trying to push. I think Ezad wants to make a fighting retreat. Oh, did you see that switch micro there? Getting the slingers at the back. Spearmen straight into the front. And this is a spearman heavy infantry army instead of coyote runners. I think Ezad may be thinking this is still coyote heavy from previous engagements, but actually Puma spearmen instantly wrecking down the elephant explorers and a couple of camels at that moment in time. More spearman reinforcements. Just has so many resources, the Aztec player, to train units. Can't actually get a proper macro going on because he just doesn't have the production facilities available. 13 villagers idle. Could go onto wood and get your third war hut at some point. Back to the fight. Aztec explorer. Aztec unit still on top. Forcing now the villagers out. It's a tank just to block the spearmen's going to the cavalry. That's desperate if you actually sacrifice a town center attack just to block spearmen get onto the cavalry. Yeah, villagers going down here, and this is just getting from bad to worse here from the Indian point of view. I thought the Indian player had the eco to make a time in. Here comes CM, but he's got 9 in the thing. Could try and go for a big batch of units, and yeah, if he had that earlier, he could actually gone for a big batch. He's calling big batch now, but is that too premature? His units are not awaiting for the snare, and actually, yeah, the attack comes in, but it could be for him to. Well, actually, no, that all this infantry melee is actually getting the big snare and forcing the Aztec player to stand still. Sour's on top of the Mace Sultans. It's back and forth like a seesaw. This is. Slingers putting in good work here, focusing down heavy infantry one by one. Sauer's able to overcome the pikemen and get onto the soft underbelly of the maces, and the game continues. This is still super close. 39 villagers here for Ezad plus the trickles. Lukas up to 34, but does have infinite 600 coin available for him to send. I think he's at that point where he realizes he needs to send it continuously. Up to 9 warrior priests dancing. Again, I don't believe he's been on war dance at any point in this game. Maybe he's been at some point, but not in that fight he wasn't. And does need to get into it at some point. Wanting to get to 10, I think he just wants to get this massive XP dance come just to infinitely ship that 600 coin to spam war. What is it? The pikes. 800 wood now. Maybe wanting to throw down a farm at home, get the next hunting upgrade there from the farm, and get some natural hunting. Does have good vision on. Oh, no, he doesn't have vision on this other hunt to the eastern side. I'm surprised why he hasn't been pushing this way for his hunting villagers. Ville's going over this way as well. And he's got mid-map control, but he hasn't really got much of a say what's happening on the left-hand side. 600 coin coming in behind this. Another Sour and Bostanchi raid. One thing you give credit to Ezad is the team game is just showing hard in his play style of raiding both sides, not raiding once, just raiding twice, and that's forcing all the infantry and military back, giving himself breathing room to gather. But these are huge raids though, with double carded Sours, 29 hand attack from the base of 20. That's such an increase. And the villager, no spirit medicine, only 10 hand attack and 150 HP. Certainly a lot less than 202 and 13 hand attack for the Eastern and Spirit Medicine provide. Feel like Lukas resigned coming in soon. Yeah, well, having 700 wood available, it's not ideal. He's got some villagers at home gathering berries because he knows it's probably safer there. Just needs more buildings on the map, more vision, more maybe wall across here is an achievable wall. A wall from this trading post to the edge of the map here is an achievable wall. Maybe not raid across a wall across the middle, but could wall from here to the war huts is potential. And I think players who can just easily spam walls as like a second fort is usually do well in these situations. But we say that India behind himself not really aging, sending tiger claws now. Oh, I think Aztec is going to get cleaned up here. There's a lot of stuff here. But it's the Sours and the Tideclaws going to rip through, and there's going to be just enough stuff to deal with the Pikes. There's not a huge amount of Pikes. And now that the Pikes are over here, it's kind of showing Lukas now on the War Dance. Now he's got the full batch of War Road Priest, 14 hand attack. Still needing the 9 range attack here for the non-autonomous lanes, just how low their base is. He's pushing mid, he's taking down the House War and their production. Another third batch of Bastanchi Hussars being trained from the Ottoman Consulate. Never once going for that HP boost here from the British Consulate or going for British Musketeers. Cavalry, Tiger Claw raid on the villagers again. More vills going down, 43 versus just the 18 vills here that Aztec, and just doesn't really have the eco to replenish his army. And I feel at this moment in time, he just doesn't have the military population to combat with what Lukas has got. In this little army coming in, it's only just a 21 slingers, 11 pikes, but going to Ezad, it's just a bit of a mess. We've got everything there. Tiger Claws, Zam, Sours, Rajput, Sepoys. No Gurkhas here, as you can tell, but the heavy infantry, basically it's the heavy infantry cavalry composition here, what Ezad's gone for instead of kind of the Gurkha Zam composition. A couple of Zamraks in the back line just to help out round off the composition, but it's the main mass is just the Sepoys and Sours and GG. What a GG that was. Want to see those GGs in the chat. We do see Ezad winning that game. Only just in the end. My God, what a game that was. And he's going to carry that series on to a 2-1 lead after game number 3. That's just a mess of a game, like a really good mess, the games we all love to see. And at no point did I know who was going to win that. I thought Aztec was slightly ahead with that early push, getting away with that War Hut coming in, crisp H1 into H2 builds, some good treasures coming in. Then India defending with Minutemen, Auto minutes, Agra, good catch, and India having like the better eco, then goes off for a nice raid. India now ahead, but Lukas remassing his army, pushes in, crushes Ezad's army under his Agra, gets massive Vil raids on the top side, back in the game. It's just back and forth. Kill death ratio I want to see is actually, yeah, it's naturally in favour of India, just to how like cheap coyotes and maces are compared to, like, say, the camels like Sour, Zam. Villager population is huge raid from that Bastanchi Hussar, 26 down to 18. 5 vills was used to reimburse, plus the 1 vill being trained, but losing that many vills early on really, really sucked hard. But a couple of vills went down during that push. Not many were trained as well, so it's like a, from this point of view, that's a shipment villager. I mean, one trained here, but from this point of view, you probably argue, yeah, 1 trained, lost 3 there, but not trained another 2, probably down 5 vills. This is a down good 10 to 9 vills, maybe 1 being trained here as well. Another batch of vills. This is a huge raid here from on India going down to 32, then catches down Aztec as well. It just feels like 2 heavyweight boxers just continuously punching each other in the face until one eventually drops. Military population's a bit more of a mess. Yeah, this fight as well. This is probably the same time as that raid out in the field. Is it not? No, it's maybe slightly before, so that's the 9-minute timing mark. Yeah, this is the 9-minute time mark. Lukas is pushing Ezad's base. Ezad holding on with Minutemen support, but we just have 6 population of Hussars out on the field raiding. But then afterwards, he gets so many units. Where does this come from? What's all this stuff? Just gets cleaned, wiped off the map super fast. I think this might be the time of the big CM pop there from the town centre, Sentry snaring, and then the camels coming in behind. Yes, that's probably what it was, cleaning up the army. Both having to remass again, but the India eco at that final point ahead. Oh, what a game. Pusher would say next game, in my opinion, well, you've got to wait for them to actually host the game and start the game, and a little bit of analysis in between covers us for that time in between. And unfortunately, it looks like the next game hasn't quite started yet between these 2 players. So, Push to wood. You need to calm down, my man. Take patience. Go for a walk. Have a glass of water. And come back when game 4 is ready to begin.
which should be starting just about now. Had that text going in 1 minute ago. So in maybe a minute or two, that game will come up. How's everyone been today? I've had a nice quiet day. Had a busy weekend with music gigs and just a nice relaxing day. Catching up with the bros of the semi-FF gang. A couple of games, some good chat, some good banter. And yeah, still got a lot of contents to catch up on from all you wonderful people over the weekend, which I was unable to watch myself. And yes, we do see Ezad's game on Florida has just begun, so let us hop in. Fitzbro trying to set his house on fire by arson, having a bonfire in his backyard. That's cool, that's nice. Wait, usually bonfires there just to kind of clean up like vegetation, so maybe was that just to like clear some stuff up, or was it just for I just want a big fire, just sit around it? Sounds fun, whatever happens though. And looks like we have a Civ reset here. Once again, we're going for the Chinese-German matchup here on Florida. But this time, we have a market start, which has to assume to be in Ezad's favour. That game is a bit of a false alarm. Let's go again. Got this fly on my screen. Yeah, go away. You've been killed. Oh no, I'm on closest region. They're probably playing on some German server. Those German boys. Yeah, Western Europe. No, it's not working, is it? Damn. I think I've seen going into a skirmish game has helped me in the past, so I will do that myself, and I'll try again for the third time. It's Queen Amina. Why does it go back to closest region? I don't want to see the closest region. I want to see the Western Europeans. Oh, Fitz, stop pretending that you're like taking the moral high ground now. I know you used to lame house, sir. Don't you say you didn't lame house, sir. You're like, well, someone's got to play the new civs. I'm watching you, man. I'm watching you. Africa, main. Hooray! We're back into the game. Game number 4. Let's do it. And successfully get past that 5-second mark. Florida, Germans being picked here. Very strong map for the Germans. This early market here allows German players to go for that early trading post. Ezad looking around. Oh my god, there's a 100 coin treasure here. This is a great start. That might allow Ezad to double bite at the market for the house as well. Has he seen it? He has seen it. How is he gonna react to it? Oh, he just cracked shot that treasure, didn't he? Did he? Oh, he's... Yeah, this is one of the things on this map. You can't really crack shot your first treasure because you know there's going to be a nice big treasure here, or probably here or here. So there's options, and yeah, a bit tough, but it's okay. Because of when the next train and travel will come by, which might actually be a bit closer than he thinks. Yeah, just not getting that building swift enough. Yeah, that's a bit of a feels bad moment, missing that pass. It's a bit of a shame. Now it'll take a while for it to come back around again. Not as long as you think. This TP line's a little bit shorter. But Lukas, though, he's been a good boy. He's got his train post down and does get that first batch XP. Has he got his shipment ready to go? He's nearly at that shipment point. So yeah, he's going to get that shipment in very, very early. We'll call in the village. And I want to check if actually he's got any upgrades here from the market. No, not just yet. No hunting eagles or civil servants. I think hunting eagles this early is worth it. He's going to chop for the hunting eagles. And yeah, once he's got to 25, we'll hit that button. 80 food, 2 alligators here with a stun ability on the Chinese Explorer is very nice. Instant critical, double critical.
Would he finish it off with a critical himself? Yeah, final on the critical. That one didn't matter, but the opening 2 criticals in a row is actually really nice. And this alligator will still stay stunned. Yeah, that's just a nice pick up there for the Chinese player. A war dog actually here for Ezad. That's a nice pickup. Very nice. But 35 wood at this moment in time won't matter too much. There's Ezad's first batch of experience, but the settler wagons are on their way already, but they won't hit the field until about 2 minutes 25 seconds, maybe 2:30. It's yeah, 2:25. Tick tock, tick tock, and there you go, bam. 3 sheep in total here for the German player. There's sheep number 4, and actually this dog may find sheep number 5. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, he does. Yes, it doesn't. He just scouted it, but unscouted it. It's not. I don't know how that's even possible, but now he's going away. He won't actually find it. Maybe he's thinking of the Tomahawk treasure here, just put pressure, extra siege as well. Certainly not say no. Pirate being crack shot straight onto the bandit gunslinger in hand attack. And yeah, big XP with these bandits now. 20 apiece certainly is worth taking for the experience alone. So Ezad here going for a 17-ville age up as per standard. Does manage to fit in. Obviously the train post as well. Not gone for the hunting dogs in age 1. Can't really afford it. But gets his gang sort in nice and early. 1 settler wagon moving on up here. Where's he going with this? He's not looking to herd in with a settler wagon. This sneaky boy here is trying to throw down a foot. Okay, he's going to herd along the way. He's going to herd along the way, which is nice. So there's a turkey going to go back, I think. No, he's not going to leave it. That's smart. He wants to try and hide to his opponent. That's what he's doing. He doesn't actually... Yeah, he hasn't seen the deers, but he has seen the turkey. We're going to see a forward tower on this tree line. Really defensive Summer Palace and lovely building placement. Well, it's nice, defensive, but it's going to be really annoying for himself to deal with, actually. These villagers going here. So he really wants to get this deer hunt right underneath behind his town centre. In this situation here, if it gets on the forward side, it's just awkward, and looks like he's working very hard to get his turkeys and the deer back. But again, no indication that Lukas has any inkling of what the German player's up to on this side. Disciple scouting around, and to be fair, China is one of those civs worst at scouting because you just do not want to lose your monk at any point. Taking off the fog of war, and oh, it's a dock. A dock from Ezad? I was expecting a cheeky side tower play, but wow, it's a dock. Let's look at Ezad's deck, and he's got rendering plants in there. That kind of gives away the potential. That's a weird thing. Like hand infantry combat age 3, no 8 lands, no 5 dops. Does still have double merc as well as the frigate. A very interesting deck, it has to be said. Now going 700 wood, 600 wood. Actually saying to his opponent, bro, I'm going water. I want you to know that I'm going water. Deal with it. If we look at Lukas's deck, open up with Ming Army defense. So we've got the Cav Archers and the Pikemen in defense. Does have a water deck of himself. 2 war junks, 1 Fulkan in the 3rd age. But that's about it, really. Doesn't have mortars to try and help push the sea from the lands. No naval combat. No, China only get team naval combat. I don't know. 3 docks. Oh, wait. It's time for the classic interjection. It was, instead of it being 4 docks, it's 3 docks here. 3 docks? Wow. If you guys remember that taunt. 2 Uhlans kissing that Disciple. Disciple unfortunately unable to scout the water here. Still no indication of any water presence here. I think this Disciple has come... Please don't tell me this Disciple has just walked this way along the coast, but actually never scouted those docks. That is... my God, that is just unlucky, really. I can't help but feel that 3 docks here is just really on the greedy side here from the German player. Up to a total of 9 fishing boats. He's got another 7 in queue to 15. At this moment in time, you know what I'm going to say. No prizes for you guessing it. This should be gill nets somewhere. As soon as you have 8 fishing boats, you need to get gill nets. I don't care if you're on 1 dock, 2 dock, 3 dock, or 4. You need gill nets.
it's so much better than just spamming fishing boats, because you can still spam fishing boats from 2 docks. I don't mind by that, but when you have 8 to 12 fishing boats, or 8 or 10, hell, if you have 0 fishing boats, it's better to get gill nets first and then spam fishing boats than the other way around. The longer you leave the skill nets, the more you're shooting yourself in the foot at the moment. And I have to be as honest as that. Now getting gill nets behind this could have been long lines a lot earlier as well. So yeah, 700 wood, 600 wood into 3 settler wagons for the dock boom behind this. Still has the coin available to go into long lines behind. And yeah, the gill net's coming in behind for the 15% on soon to be probably about 20 fishing boats. Steel traps here doesn't actually need the steel traps. I feel potentially here steel traps is actually wasted resources here from the German player. Not really hunting in base. Probably amalgamation may make more sense, but there's 5 whales on the water. If anything, a second trading post or maybe a church instead would be a better spending of those resources. There's the Keshik army plus the pikes. 1 barracks has come down. The 700 wood has been gathered up by Lukas. So he's gone for 700 gold and 700 wood. And on 700 wood, it's going to be the classic consulate, racks, village, maybe another village as well. He's only got 2, but it does have a bit of wood incoming behind this. Training the batch of scum pike. Sometimes it's quite hard to afford. One of these sheep's at 200 plus food, so a little bit of a bigger boy compared to these guys. These soon will be promoted to big boy status. Yeah, that's a big boy over there as well. So only get those eaten up to try and push on those units, because you do need units on the board quickly here. Has Ezad got his long lines yet? I'm going to say he does not, which is a disappointing on 24. For example, I'd rather have long lines than that second trading post. Racks stable coming down behind. He could just buy his way up. I mean, when you got all this infinite coin source, you got very fast gathering coin bills on a coin mine as well. That is potential. Does see it. Does need now to transition into a caravel or frigate, because you know what's coming from onto the sea here from Lukas. There you go. There's the Fulkan being sent straight away. Maybe something a bit of a off kind of meta play to defend this could be go for any native settlement. Either would do, and go to a canoe spam to populate the docks with fishing boats, and then also to outnumber the Fulkan, because Fulkan's one of those heavy warships. It's great versus other strong warships, but pretty poor versus 10 canoes, 1 canoe's endlessly running around, drawing that micro fire. A settler wagon has been put under pressure by Keshik. May want to get into a fishing boat just to survive, but there's actually a couple Ulans here. May actually picked off. Maybe it's just Lukas just baiting the Ulans being forward as well. That's actually turned into quite a nice play there from Lukas, all things considered. 2 docks down, 1 caravel out, but soon going to be a Fulkan on the water with no real response here from Ezad. There's the Fulkan, and we're in big trouble now, boys. Okay, frigate comes out. Can a Fulkan take down a caravel and a frigate? No, he cannot, especially with the defensive dock as well. And the Fulkan backs off momentarily. Villager here possibly looking to drop down himself. Another dock just to help out. Has the wood available to do it. He's going to do it now. And he wants to try and take this fight of the frigate and the caravel away from the dock himself. We have another Ming army here, most likely here from the Summer Palace yet. So Summer Palace out. We do have 4 Keshiks in total, so that's double Keshik, double pike batch. But we do have redcoats available. He has sent himself the intervention card. Does have nearly enough export to go for another. Here's the Fulkan engaging with the frigate. It's going to win easily. And we have a fire junk here. 500 attack with splash. And these units are pretty grouped together. This could be actually quite big. Yeah, he actually does get damage on top of the fishing boats as well. That caravel nearly down, and the Fulkan can push forward. And now actually, he may actually want to take his army back to the coastline and just clean that dock from the land. And then all this is at the mercy of the Chinese player. Ezad though just biding his time. He knows he's got a mega eco behind this. He's absolutely he's population blocked. He's got too many resources to spend. Not really enough production as well, thanks to all this fishing eco. But just a frigate needs to really hold this position critically. Fishing boats getting into the dock actually picks off the
I believe he picks off the... was that a war junk or a fire junk? I want to say it's a fire junk before it made contact with anything. And now with Fulcan actually taking down firing the dock instead of the frigates, I don't think he can win that fight. He needs to pick one. I think he needs to pick the frigate and wait for the land reinforcements. And yeah, this needs to go back. He needs to go back and return this. Here comes a fire junk to try and get some damage onto the dock. Dock does go down. The outpost is, but I don't get denied. It is denied actually. The fight is going to ensure on the coast. But there's a frigate here backing up the German army. Dops are in presence of the German forces at the moment. They are only colonial Doppelsunders. Arquebusier is pushing back, and yeah, just a couple of the Chang Daos here. Redcoats in melee. The Ulan comes back. Only Vet Ulan's in now. Oh, taking out a fight with no Vet Ulans. That's brutal. That's brutal. That is. The Fulcom comes back in at 500 HP. I think he's just about going to win that fight. Another fire giant goes down. He knows he wants to get this healed up. Heal it up for free. But yes, the Chinese player is now training another. War junk needs to get built so fast. I think this is what the idea here is. He wants to get something down to destroy any dock being built. The outpost is nearly completed though. The fact that Lukas never finished it off is a bit of a curiosity, but I don't think it's going to matter too much once that Fulcan is fully healed up again on the water. Do we see any intentions of a castle and mortars? No, not just yet, but I think he's absolutely fine going for redcoats from the British consulate. Another cav batch behind us and training mass fireboats looking to clean up the water very, very quickly behind here. Maybe that he's not aware that there's more docks down the coast. You maybe think there might be another 2 down here, but he's certainly got enough. I would like to see these not take down fishing boats, just clear out definitely the remainder. And yeah, there's a dock, and there's the frigate behind. Fulcan maybe wanted to lead the charge there, absorb the damage, protect these war junks. Yeah, one gets taken down before. Oh no, he just attacked a fishing boat. Oh, he's missed out on 1250 attack on the dock because he's right-clicked a fishing boat instead of the building itself. I don't think in the NHB that much of a big deal that the Fulcan behind clean out the fishing boats, but still, all these fishing boats are absolutely gathering a ton of resources. Long lines would have paid off so much this game, but he never went long lines in the end, and he could have an extra couple thousand resources at this moment in time, but never getting long lines, I feel, is a bit of a criminal play here from Ezad. You know me, I do love my long lines upgrades, I love my great coats, and I love great eco play. Here comes the fire junk to take down a dock. I think, do docks somewhat resist war junks maybe? I don't know. Is that bugged? I feel that should have done more damage than it did behind there. Maybe the oh, Fulcan nearly down, yeah, nearly down. Dock coming down, dock is down. But it doesn't really matter if a Fulcan only has 10 HP. Fishing boats can't attack. And more cav batches coming in from behind. We still have arquebusiers nice and deep protected by the redcoats. Now going to be focusing down the Doppelsunders one by one and the war things. Fulcan coming in low HP, but still long range fire. Can pick up a couple of units. They're very strong in that role it plays. And more dots. Look at his vet army batch. He's got. There's not really enough redcoats to deal with this. So that's just Ezad just shifting in there. Cav batch coming in. He's not going for another fight. Still could be any person's game. And actually, this Fulcan, very, very low HP. They're all getting into it, but that could be a right click with Woodlands and torches being thrown. Especially as Lukas is saying very close to the coast. That was very close. And yeah, the war wagon's moving forward. I think he realised actually the kill was on there. But Lukas managed to keep his Fulcan away. But look at this, just still, again, just... Is that Dops getting into a fishing boat? Is it getting... He's just trying to find this Fulcan, it feels like. Maybe he's just trying to bait this warship close to the coast. And with 60 siege Doppels, 2 batches... Oh no, well, 2 batches will kill it. 2 batches will kill it. Is this like going to be the bait of the century? We'll have to find out. Meanwhile, Ulan's pushing the villagers away from the gold mine. Cav army coming in with Cav combat and counter infantry rifling to deal with the Chang Daos. Gonna go for it. A war junk coming out here to try and help clean up the water. Dock being built behind this. Still water eco from these fishing boats. It won't last forever, but the German player's got so much resources behind. Hoping that these guys have got amalgamation. No, it's just only on place mines for the time being. Only on place of mines. Yeah, pushing in with Ulan's top side. A couple of wagons. Where's the skirm count? Not much of a skirm count here. Only 9 on the field. Yeah, because there's a possibility of calling at a later point. Does have 13 on the wood line. And yeah, he's still trying to save his fishing eco with the dock, but I'm not really too sure it's going to work out long term. Like, the push on the land here is very, very strong here from German player. Maybe the extra dock there is a potential delay tactic, but he's only really delaying himself from the naval unit. It's not really going to affect any of the land presence that Lukas has. He's going to slowly back off again. Full car moving back to the dock to be fully repaired now. Another fire junk coming out. War junk as well has seen this fishing boat, but there's only 20 siege here from the dock. It won't be enough to really dissuade this war junk to move further away. Another outpost coming out at all. Big engagement possibly. Village here is being put under pressure by the German forces, mainly cavalry heavy at the moment. I'm looking at Lukas's forces. I'm just seeing it's a mixed bag, but we do see 3 batches of heavy cavalry, 14 chain downs, some Keshiks, some redcoats, a couple of arquebusiers, but I just you feel like this Doppel Ulan's potential Z move coming in maybe very, very strong. Again, docks coming down. There's a second outpost being built, but I don't know really what the outpost is trying to accomplish here, because your fishing eco is already down. That full car's going to be repaired, and yeah, well, you got no place to garrison your fishing boats, and the war junk here is going to do absolutely well. But here comes a massive fight here. I think there's way too many Doppels for the Changdaos to be very happy with. Yeah, Ulan's moved back slightly. Doppels move to the front line. Actually, arquebusiers again having to micro here onto the Doppels, but Ulan's actually blocking the arquebusier fire. This is a great Z move attack here from Ezad, having heavy infantry underneath cavalry. It's very hard for the skirmishers to micro down. And the vet dops do their very, very good work there and cutting down Lukas's army. And Ezad, with the strong economy behind this, his land eco's untouched. 42 villagers, so that's 30 settlers backed by 7 settler wagons. A couple of villas still on the water, but still at 44 villagers land eco behind this, where Lukas is at 39 plus porcelain tower. It's going to be hard for him to remaster. That's the thing. That's the problem he has. Even the full car now being used to transport units and maybe train. Oh, the full car's so close to going down. It doesn't really matter because there's nothing here on the coast for him to fight for anymore. But yeah, it's a shame that he can't use that full car on the coast to fight as well because of how low HP it is. The shoe, is that the shoe zone? Guys, go buy your footwear at the shoe zone. Today's ESOC stream is sponsored by Shoe Zone. Cheap Chinese imports. Cheap price, cheap quality, still great. Villagers move into the northern coin mine, villagers move into the middle hunt. The theatre of warfare may change very, very quickly after this village has been taken down. Has either players scouted each other? No, they haven't. But an outpost is coming down. That will provide line of sight. This full car's taking ages to repair. I'd expect this to be repaired a little bit faster rate. Maybe it's just a... that is the base repair, and the full car has so much HP that it feels like it's taken an eternity to age up. But there's still 4 fishing boats on a whale. 1 dock coming back out again. Is that still training fishing boats? You got to give man credit for trying and just keeping on making units. But versus a dock already established, soon to be a 4 HP full car, and it feels... not a wise investment of units. Maybe a second town centre instead of this dock play and more fishing boats would be the ideal play behind it. Is it in rendering plan? Why is it in rendering plan? Eco theory, because that gives you 10% on fishing boats as well, but still 10% on your 34 settlers, your 10% on your 7 settler wagons. I really dislike this rendering plan play by Ezad, but he's ahead, so you've got to give credit where you can of being ahead. Oh yes, he's sending rendering plant for the 2 free Urlans you get. Obviously, if you send Eco 3, you don't get any Urlans. That's big brain play there. Got to be sending your 2 Urlan cards. 3 Urlans, Cav Kuras coming down as well, so he's going to be exceptionally tanky RE style cavalry. That's going to same up to 275 HP behind this. Oh, big push on the German coin operation. So this is a bit of a problem here. You can't have no coin as German players. Actually got 2 mines above. This must be scouted here for the German player. Surely. Oh, it's not scouted. Oh no, he needs to know where his next coin mine is. I hope Ezad's thinking, I'm hoping you think he has coin mine, because if you think this is his only other coin mine, then that's a bit of a misplay, especially as you see, you know, coin mine's this deep. It's one set back and going this way. Back in the base, though, yeah. German army is going to town, it seems, and literally going to the town of China. Village is going down as well. Smart play. Look at Lukas. Heavily housed here. And yes, you've got a big, lovely warship on the water, but unfortunately, you are housed in the land. And that's a bit of a problem. Manchu on the field as well. Okay, Manchu. Nice idea. You have seen that very heavy cavalry-based play here. Minutemen being called. Is this a potential go time? It looks like it's been go time. Cav army on the bottom to try and snare any units. Goes straight in for the war wagons here. I think he wants to try and take down his units, protect. Still have to feel that the advantage here is going to be in favour of Ezad. I don't think that was a delete there from China. That would be a bit of a weird flex if it was a delete. I think there's a couple of doppels here, just got that final attack on. But yeah, Manchu do stay strong. They're not really being targeted down by any scums of war wagons. But the remainder of the Chinese army have been absolutely cleaned. And I'm sure the reinforcements here coming nice and swift here from the German player. Fire doppels. I'm expecting Cav crossing the map very soon. At some point they will, I'm sure, join into the fight. Doesn't really matter though versus Manchu. But yeah, Manchu, another Cav batch. But yeah, it can't really do much versus Dopp war wagon here. And yeah, getting great trades here. Cav combat war wagons putting in a big shift. I think they have their ranged cavalry Caracol now as well with the 18 range. Let me confirm that for you. Yes, that is confirmed. Ranged cavalry Caracol. And the fishing boom as well. He's still going double production from 2 docks. Yeah, wow. Ezad looking in fine form today. Gotta be said. He's really this game has really surprised me. Really played this well. It looking very dicey mid-game. People were saying calling GG for Lukas there, but he's managing just about to hang on, and it could even be as on much of a knife edge that that fire junk hitting that one vill, that one fishing boat into the dock. That could be crucial, as like, you know, these little, you can call it the butterfly effect. A little change here, and a bigger deviation down the line, and a bigger deviation, and it gets on and on and on. But I do see very buff lands standing by, very exposed Chinese villagers. Yeah, thank you indeed. Thank you indeed. However, I cannot quantify the amount of disappointment I have that Long Lines has never featured this game, and Steel Traps was researched instead. He's going for crossbows. Is he agent with the Papal Guard? He is agent with the Papal Guards to try and go into guard crossbowman, but he's now seeing this tin mine. He's like, okay, there's a tin mine over here. There's a silver mine on the top side as well. I think he's now just realised actually he's got some of the map he hasn't really scouted. He's going for Seminoles. He's going for guard crossbowman backed by archer techs from the Seminole and the Carib. Ezad, he's done his map homework. He's really done his map homework. He knows how this map plays. Even just knowing that idea exists, and yes, he's looking to get into Seminole Boyer Archer 15% attack on guard crossbows. He will have to research vet crossbows still. I don't know if he realises how the Papal Guard mechanic works, but the guard crossbow upgrade will be free. And yes, does need a little bit of coin to get there, but you can see he's now getting circular saw as well. There's vet crossbow being researched. Ezad knows his business. He knows the Papal Guard inside out, and that's great to see. No 9 dops this game. It does have obviously the factories. You go heavy cannons here first. Yeah, absolutely fine. I suppose if you're already winning, dominating the eco game, then the heavy cannons can certainly do very well, especially as China's thinking of pushing to try and punish the age up here. But here comes the guard crossbowman for free. Does have access to the guard pikeman as well, I believe. And guard dops is now only 300 wood, 300 gold. So actually, you would argue to go to guard doppelsonders and try and play, you know, bowman dops, but it's only because the lack of coin is the idea of the Papal Guard. There's the Seminole Boyars, and these guys are up to a very strong, probably 26 attack here, crossbow, maybe 25. I know that Bestieros and the Portuguese consulates reach a 29 range attack with the guard upgrade and the Seminole and Carib attack. Yeah, so 26 here from Ezad's crossbows, 160 HP, very, very nice. Ville's tanking as well, and goodbye China Army. Especially as, you know, in an Arquebusier crossbow matchup, the crossbows will do very well if in range. There's the heavy cannons, not even needed. Not even needed. We got some war wagons, Uhlans as well from Ezad. And the GG has been called. Well played to both players. But sometimes you just have to tip your hat off to Ezad there for getting that game done. I will be writing a letter to your mother, though, explain my sincere disappointment of the lack of long lines this game and the delayed gill nets. But apart from that, though, the rest of your play, eco management, unit control, decision making, top tier, very well done. Earned yourself a very, very well earned game win there, leading the series 3-1 with one game still to play. Oh, Jesus Christ. I've never seen a German fish boom like that before, and maybe that's something for me to work on in my own streams if you want to see some German fish water play. Interesting, interesting. Nice ideas. Especially versus, it works so well versus a civ like China, who, you know, they have the FF, that's fine, but the eco when they hit up isn't that great. Sometimes, as China, you can't really afford your first batch of units from the backs. When you age up, you kind of have to wait until you get your concert down, and other houses, and then only then you might get enough food and coin to train your first batch. And sometimes it does feel a little bit sluggish, even if you're going aggressive, but all that fish and eco there. Forcing the Fukan as well, like it's a big shipment, but it's just, it's not a land shipment which pushes your aggression down the line. So yeah, as a result, you'll probably see the military population not as big there for China in the Third Age. Should be another military shipment on the lands instead of the Fukan. You know, if it was that situation, but you had to go Fukan to answer the water, had to invest resources into the water to try and defend it, and they never could quite get that China death ball rolling to a certain level he needed. Always felt that he needed more Changdaos than he could. Possible arguments to go to the castle on the coastline here and train the Black Flag army for armies of 2 meteor hammers and 4 Changdaos. All things considered, that was a great fight there from Lukas. But Ezad with his eco behind was just enough to take off. I'm sure the clear deviation here in the second age is so huge. It's the rate of increase as well. Ezad had more spare resources to play around with to get him behind. As the game went on, actually, China grew into it, and the disparity between wasn't too bad. Obviously, as the fish and eco was somewhat idled and destroyed, it got closer. But yeah, no. So solid games, these series between Ezad and Lukas. Real solid games. Some top level stuff coming on. Really good to see. Really good game there. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I enjoyed that one too. And it's not over yet. We have one more. Let's do it. Let's check my Discord. Is somebody else somewhere on a different lobby? Oh, no. I'm open the same chat. Oh, it's very reassuring when the players say they're starting their game. It's absolutely beautiful when that happens. Right, all non-ranked matches. Let's go for all on the order regions as well. Spectator mode. Ezad Spiel. They're 2 minutes into the game. I think we join them as well. Let's do it. Game 5, Colorado. Oh, now Lukas is going for the Germans. Ezad playing as India. And this is a bit of a famously strong matchup here in the German favour, as I've been told. But we won't be seeing it today. We're going to have to do the classic restart because DE is being very kind to us. Let's try our skirmish trick again to see if we can reset the multiplayer recorded game clients. And Miniwat's saying it easy for Germans. I think the semi-FF strat is too strong versus the preservation of the sacred fire of liberty is entrusted to the hands of the American. He said the American people. He said the American people. So it is the United States of America. There's one thing the devs always said, like, you must call them the United States, cannot call them the United States of America. You must not call them the United States of America, but they say American for America. I remember I fed back to one of the devs saying, by the way, you do know the Explorer says for America every time. They're like, oh, hang on a minute, that's not good. We need to run a meeting on that one. I think the banner at the start of the screen says you can now play as the Americans, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's racist. We cannot say the Americans. That is, oh my god, what would we do?" So yeah, they quickly changed that one. It was quite funny actually. You have to laugh at some of the office culture, or like the that type of culture of I don't know. I don't know why they. I think I think technically they were the United States before they became the United States of America, but I don't really know. Maybe it's just not paying correct homage to the Native Americans. Maybe, I don't know. Hasn't worked. Come on. I'll tell you another fun thing about the Americans as well, as in this game, is one of the AI entrance line. You know how sometimes you play a game and the AI speaks to you. Well, one of the lines literally says "Good luck, have fun," which is, it's a bit cringy when the PC says it towards you. Like it knows it's like on a mess with you. Like, oh, I need to wish you some good luck and have fun because you're gonna need it. It's a bit weird in that one. Oh, that's what it is. Yes, it's those boys down under, the Latin Americans. Oh, they'll come around to their senses someday. Bam. Will we get fourth time lucky? I feel like we can. We've had some good luck today. We'll get some more on it. Meanwhile, I'll have a little bit of nibble of my chocolate. Something to keep me going.
The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty is entrusted to the hands of the American people. Are you American?
No, I'm German, as you can see, mate. It's a weird line, that is. Are you American? Like, you're not going to see Queen Isabella saying, "Hey, hola amigos, are you Spanish? Como estada?" You're not going to see stuff like that. Oh, come on, DE. Come on. Why you this me? Boop. I don't really feel like restarting my entire games, because I don't want to get to the point that the game is being on the server for so long that we can't access it anymore. We'll try one more time, and then we might have to restart a game or try that skirmish trick again. Yeah, nah, not happening, is it? Right, I will try and restart the. I don't think it makes a difference, does it? Come on, let's try and get back into the game. It will take a bit of a while for it to happen. Already feeling up for a bit of a Stronghold Crusader stream, Age of Empires 1, maybe. Bit of ESOC Patch. A lot of games to play. Also, we need to get that Among Us session gun at some point soon. We need to do that again. I haven't played it for so long, it just feels like we need to get back on it. I know a lot of people have commented on my desktop. I like it. I like it the way it is. I know people would say it causes them nightmares, it makes them agitated. Come on, Steam. It takes me ages to try and open up Age of Empires 3. What's the problem now? Oh, it is. Okay, it's going. That's fine. Boop. Yeah, well, I'm just having it there just in case I can get like a sneaky access. I'm like, hey devs, can I send you $2 and you let me play for a whole week? Yeah, something like that. Bitches, something like that. I need to get back onto that route stuff. I was taking a week off. I might got a whole week of training soon behind. Right, let's pray to Garja that this is going to go nice and well. Hey, Brooke, none of that. None of that. This is a PG stream, or maybe a let's say it's teen stream. Rated T for teen. None of that language. Right, is that spiel? Let's do it. What's that folder dirty stuff? Probably full of memes, to be honest. Oh, come on, DE! What is this? Why are you doing this to me? Ooh. It's actually gather bamboo. Didn't realize it was bamboo. I suppose it makes sense. Oh, fucking hell. So annoying. I don't want to play a game, do I? He's been getting plenty of practice into moving in between lobbies. Since hope everyone's happy. This is what live casting gets you. I know. Oh. And people say it's like our fault we can't get live casting to work properly. Nah, it's not. Why is this? Why is it the last game as well? Just teasing us. Just teasing us. Let's pray that the skirmish trick again works. Well, I mean, you can tell it. You can obviously tell it when people don't have a good PC setup. It does run really slowly. But if you have a setup which actually can run at very close pace to normal, it doesn't matter. I don't know the results. I don't really care enough to know the results in advance. If people want to spoil it themselves, well, they spoil it themselves. It's there. It's on them to try and not spoil it for their own entertainment. And yeah. And oh, that's the close region. It's still there. Let's hit that refresh button once. Let's see if that would do. Load in. Right, we refresh. 10 minutes in. At least it's going to be more than a 10-minute game. Let's pray to Garja. Pray for Garja for us day. Give us our daily Age of Empires 3 action and forgive others who do not participate in Age of Empires 3. It might be a recorded game for the final game, boys. It ain't happening, it. It ain't happening. Do you know what? There'll be some sad fellow on YouTube just watching this endless cycle and go like, oh, when's game 5 going to start? They're like, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Partida Tequila. That sounds like a cool kid. Partida Tequila. The Oopsie Clan. Let's have a look at these guys. What's their rating? Do they even have a rating? It says loading. Shouldn't take that long to load, mate. Come on. Looks like the answer is no, they don't have a rating. I wonder what these guys' ratings are. Yeah, rank 11 versus rank 37. I mean, on the plus side, because it's the last game, it's not like they're going to lose this final game recorded, are they? So definitely going to get this action in at some point. At some point. What is it? Wait, Des, come on. Ah! This is what I don't get, is I don't get why some games work and some games just don't work. Like, if there's some consistency, I'll be fine with it. Player name here. I like how that's like kind of a placeholder. It's like, oh, computer, make sure you type the player name here. Let's prefer rec casting. Yeah. Some people sound bored though when they cast Rex. That's the problem. But I enjoy any game. It's not happening. Ew, fucking hell. When people say, why do I spend so long in doing analytics in between games, this is probably why. Big F. Drop that F in the chat. And the weird thing is, like when we'll know when the game's finished because the game will come off the stream. We'll be like, it's that time stopped going up. So it's like it's not like knowing the thing. Oh, this is just happening again. Why? Nah. Ugh. This game is so close to being a great game, but it's just not quite there. It's so close to being it. Oh, it's George Washington again for the third time in a row. What's going on here? George, speak to me. Speak to me, baby. You can't leave me hanging like this and not give me an intro. You need to speak to me. Are you American? What's going wrong? I don't know. The game is. We are failing to download the game from the servers. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. Or we get the first 5 seconds and it stops. Might go downstairs and get my roast dinner heated up and come back and enjoy some lovely food. Well, I mean, remember Game 4 was like lasted half an hour as well, so you gotta consider that's a bit of a problem. Failed to join the game. Why does it fail to join the game? Has the game? What? Wait, what's going on here? Why am I? Let's hit that refresh button. Oh, it's done. Yeah, don't worry, Ezad. It's not your fault. It's just DE being retarded today. Cool, yeah, ding it across and I'll get it done. Oh, mate. Oh, King 3 and 4. Wow. That's all I can say is just wow. What on earth is that German name? Spiel. You can check my pronunciation when you see what recorded game I've been given. Paste that in there. Beautiful. Let's head back and load that final game. Now it's just... Now my game's just stuck. Oh, I need to, might need to close. No, it is closed. Yeah. Whatever. Let's just do a skirmish game and reset my game again. I mean, it's a skirmish game and it's not even work. Oh, it's a recorded game. Why am I in a recorded game? I hit skirmish. What's going on here? Ezad, what have you done to my game? I'm now in the multiplayer lobby. What the fuck's going on? Ha! No idea. There you go. Aufgezeichnete Spiel. No idea. No idea. Doesn't matter. We're in the final game. Positive vibes, everybody. Positive vibes. Let's do it. Down to business. India versus Germany. Everyone chill. Everyone relax. Colorado. Let's do it. Alright guys, final game. Ezad versus Lukas. Ezad currently leading the series 3-1. Final map of the series will be on Colorado, and we see Ezad playing as the Indian civilization spawning to the eastern map in the colour blue, where his opponents, Lukas, is playing as the Germans in the colour purple, and he'll be spawning to the western map. Double Indian Explorers moving forward to see a 90 wood treasure instantaneously on the board. What a fantastic treasure to kick us off. You see how he stuns both Cougars, allowing the third Cougar to join so it's close enough to be stomped on together, and he double attacks that final treasure guard not stunned, and that's a very clean way, well executed way to take down 90 wood. What a great opening there for Ezad. Looking from Lucas's point of view, yeah, I think he's probably taking that like a tier 1 treasure. Let's look at him. He's gone for 50 food, sunflowers. So, yeah, it's a nice treasure, but it's not really what he would have hoped for in this opening, especially compared to what Ezad has picked up. Ezad scouts a 30% explorer HP treasure. That's insane. And there's 95 wood there. Oh. And do you know what's better? I have a feeling that Lukas, he won't crack shot that. No, he can't crack shot it. But, Ezad will see this, and yeah, there you go. You've seen the treasure. GG. That's a 4-minute game. Ezad's going to win that easy peasy. Let's move on to the next game. Oh, yeah. Fitz, you got to calm down. I know you like to get up nice and close to some grizzly bears, especially 2 of them together. I know that's more your jam, but yeah, sorry for the close up on those 3 cougars. I couldn't help myself. Full HP Explorer there, taking that first bite there from Grizzly Bear, but both together, both getting stunned perfectly. And Lukas is thinking he's up for a winner here on 110 coin. It's certainly a very nice treasure to take here from the German point of view. He would have opened up a market house, so it does allow him buying potential in transition to get that train post down a little bit earlier. But he's had taken 90 wood and 95 wood. You cannot complain about that opening. Hmm. 300 wood hashtag balanced, yeah. Well, got to see. The potential is over chopped here. No, it's just perfect macro for a 13 vill because he knows he's got to age up 13 villagers because well he's got all his extra woods. He doesn't have to chop all as much. One villager now crossing the map, looking to go for a slightly forward aggro. I don't think he can fit the aggro here. I think it may be wrong for him to try and do so because he's already got the age up in queue. It might just be safe just to plonk it down here. And just some map control. There you go. As soon as the wood food comes in for the age up, he plonks it down straight away, and that's been a lovely age run. Just no TCO time, just continuing. And you could argue because of those extra wood treasures that he could have, anticipated in the future, could have aged up even faster with less wood chopped. But still, absolutely fantastic age up time here from Ezad. Let's check on from the German point of view. A lot of food actually. Looking to go Gangsaw before managing to click up here. So that's a sign of a strong H1 here if you've got more food than you need to age up here as the Germans. So be very happy with that. Gangsaw coming in. He's trying to maximize his time hunting before Gangsaw comes in. Honestly though, 10%, it doesn't make enough difference to really delay this chopping. Yes, you've got your 2 vills in transition, but at the end of the day, what you really want is to get that train post down. And if that means missing out on a crucial passive experience, then your smart economy, like macro play, may not bring you the rewards you seek to do with that finicky thing. You know what I'm trying to say. I appreciate the effort, I think, is what I'm going to try and say on that one. But, yeah. Because it's only 0. Well, I mean, it's actually 5 vills, 10 vills, 13 vill, but 1.3 extra vill eco on that woods there as a result of that Gangsaw. So it is something, I guess. It's not a huge amount. And yeah, that train pass is coming down there, and it should be, it definitely will be up there before his train pass comes in. So I think Lukas will be absolutely fine and got away with that one. Meanwhile, Ezad though, aggro coming up at good timing. He's got lots of eco. I'm surprised there's no market down already. He's actually gone for a trading post in transition, just to show how good that age one has been. That explains why the amount of chopping and where that position is. So he's basically earned himself a train post in transition, which is very very nice. I feel that's a good kind of a reward to get as a result, and that's going to help his shipments speed along. India, one of those civs who'd like to send loads of shipments. every shipment gets another villager as well, and they have that experience penalty as a result. So there's certainly the train post really helping the Indian players, of course, and same for the Germans as well. They also have a XP penalty. Please, what is the biggest difference between 3 and 4? I guess you mean Age of Empires 3 and Age of Empires 4. Well, probably the biggest difference between Age of Empires 3 and Age of Empires 4 is the XP system and the cards you get to send, and you can plan your strategy around the cards you want to send. So, looks like Ezad here is sending in wood first, so he may want to go for more of an economic play, get his infrastructure down, instead of wanting to send, say, 5 strong musketeer-style units first, or maybe 4 cavalry, and gets to play around, and it opens a very big dynamic game, where Age of Empires 4 is a recopy of Age of Empires 2 with some deviations, does a few things better, does a few things worse, and it's, yeah, looking forward to see when the full game comes out if they fix some of the problems they had. It's probably the best way of saying it.
Hello.
Ah, hello to you too.
Yeah,
A dish? Okay, Ezad here again, his civil servants. He's going for blanket field. I wonder what text he actually has. Because it's not a spectator game. I can actually see in his market. It looks like he has pretty gone for his hunting eagles, gone for civil servants, now going for his Flumen ditching. Wow, that's a second tier coin up. That's actually quite expensive, really. Especially for like what you get back. It's 100 food, 100 wood just for 10% on your coin. So it's a more expensive version of Placer Mines, and it's early game. You don't have many vills on the coin. I think you might occasionally overprice these economic techs in that sense. Here comes some Ulan's top side. Sepoy is moving into the position to defend. One villager will likely go. He's wanting it. He's nibbling. One more comes in. The villager does go down, but he should be able to get another Sepoy Ulan for that. So it's a decent chain exchange, probably in favour of the German player, exchanging one Ulan there for one villager. But Ezad's position here is still very, very strong in the sense of how his opening game's gone. Constant coming down now behind this. He's got the very strong economic text. He's able to go into the Ottoman consulate, I believe, to go for the villagers, and then the Bastanji Hussars behind. And meanwhile, we check on Germany's point of view, one trading post, one church, defensive barracks. Maybe it's just preparing for skirmishes in the next stage. Maybe it's that much of a kind of like forward-thinking play that actually he wants to be sending cavalry, but trains skirmishes right from the get-go. Gives him the ability to train defensive crossbows in case the Indian player decides to push with sepoys and play aggressive. But you can tell Lukas, he's not going for a semi-FF here. He's going for an FF. So we don't like players like this. We like players who belong in the semi-FF gang, and Lukas here going for a straight FF here. Oh, the worst. Another 2 Ulan raid down to the south, looking to pick off 2 villas. Actually, if he sees the villager on this tree line, it'll be easy pickings. He might see the 2 villas back away, and he's going to retreat for the free pickup on the wood line here. That's a lovely pickup. Either try and move in to defend that position. They just come back onto the food, maybe to bait in the Hussar Ulans here for the boys to catch up. But there's one Ulan here trying to get a raid on top side, and the elephants and Nuka Clubman here move to intercept. The game continues. But I feel that this play from Ezad has been real crisp. It's been a nice build. He's not trained any units in the second age. He's understood that India here is playing a little bit defensive, going Osman Consulate, looking for the kind of build tech. Here come the 3 Bostaji Hussars. We have an Explorer. You probably have a couple units nearby to come back. House and a setup wagon moving forward. That's actually quite exposed, but it should be fine in total. Aging up at 750, very quick time there for the German player. 3 settler wagons, 700 woods, saving the shipment, not needing the coin, and still getting good utility from the 700 wood instead of going like a very aggressive 3 settler wagons, 700 gold, fast stage there. But the Bastaji Hussars actually snaring the Explorer. The German player thinking of wanting to get the Uhlans in the action, but now sees all these sepoys going from behind. We do have one war wagon in queue, 1 skirmisher in queue, 8 skirmishers being sent in the home city behind this. Should it be enough? I think with Great Micro will be enough, but it's going to be close. We do have Minutemen support available as well. Town Centre fire. Sepoys moving in, only 180 HP, and if the skirmishers pop behind, we should be fine. Looks like there should be enough resources here to get a 4 batch of war wagons if this macro continues. So 4 war wagons, total 6 Uhlans should be easily enough to push back colonial force here from Ezad. I think Ezad knows this as well. I'm not really feeling comfortable if Ezad's wanting to try and continue this one. And well, he is. He's going full H2 here. Osman Consulate. Prevent that line of sight. Went for the early hussars into the villages. Here comes the caravanserai, looking to go. You'd have to say mass sours here because you know there's going to be lots of skirms on the field here for the German players. So Zambrak feel a bit risky in the situation, so he's going to send sours, make Rajputs as well. Go for the old Eagle classic technique of Sepoy, Rajputs, and sours. Maybe send in Dravidian martial arts at a later point in the next card, and try to hope that Lukas. It might actually be pronounced as Lukas in Germany. I don't know, but it's certainly wanting him to push forwards and maybe get these magic sour pops on top. But he's got to be careful here because the Hussars are raiding the set of wagons. But if they get caught here by the Uhlans, that's not great play. Well, I mean, it's fine play, but it's not great here for the Indian player. Trading 2 Uhlans for 2 Hussars and a set that I can pick off as well. I eat my words. That's a fine trade there. And actually, the other skirms have been scouted. The Uhlans here, where are they? Where are the remaining Uhlans? It's just skirms. Yeah, the Uhlans were chasing the Basachi Hussars. Sours moving forward and catching the skirmishes on their own. The 4 war wagons from that macro I was talking about do come out to reinforce, and there's just a batch of 5 Uhlans, 4 war wagons. There should be another shipment here from Lukas on the field very, very soon. What's he saying? He sent 3 war wagons from home city. Total, we have 7 war wagons, but they're at home. They're stationary. They're not moving. They're not moving. Done to the London. Done. That is a huge impact on the game. Sepoy is just moving forward, focusing down the war wagons one by one. But actually, because they're so close, they might just turn their attention onto the skirmishers. Sours poking their way onto these skirmishers one by one. And Lukas is thinking, "Where's my reinforcements? Surely they must be coming." And the 3 war wagons do cross the map now. 5 more skirms being sent. 7 skirmishers being sent from the home city behind this. Opting to go skirmishers instead of the 9 Uhlans versus obviously Sour Sepoy. That makes great sense to go into skirmisher war wagon. Oh, don't worry, Lukas. I certainly believe you on that one. We've all had that annoying bug happen before. I don't think it's just a bug of it not being able to find a target anymore. It just maybe just hit a wrong macro key. You think you had it, but don't you hate to see it? But Ezad now score still favour Lukas. He has that TP and the church working away very strong behind here. Is that amalgamation? No, it's 0.66 times by 2. It's just place a minor eco on the settler wagons. 25 villager population. That's 18 plus 7 because 1 settler wagon has gone down. And Ezad's going to back off a little bit. Looking at his point of view, going for another barracks. Does have quite a lot of vills here. 34 vills. He does have double wood trickle back. 40 vil eco. Still spamming units in H2 though. Doesn't really feel like he's got the time and tempo to go to the next age. I like that this committal is carrying on, and it's just going for this kind of like Z move, sour Rajput combination. Go for the real fast, fast infantry and fast cavalry composition, just moving quick. And actually, because these sours are so fast, they're great for actually chasing, kiting armies because the extra movement speed of 7.5 allows them to just close down and snare units so much faster, get them so much quicker. And actually, the Rajputs as well would be great to go onto the war wagons, snare them behind, and actually be so annoying that the war wagons will have to be manually microed onto into the sours instead of all stuck in the closest units, which would be the Rajputs in the instance. Osman Miniman called from the forward aggro. Sours moving forward to get the snaring. We have 1 sour on the skirm line, snaring the skirm line behind this. You see the whole skirm line behind is struggling to keep up now. 1 war wagon trying to be the hero, blocking behind. Sours frantically poking behind. A couple of villas push forward here just to maybe tank up, go hunting, just be annoying in that sense. Huge batch of 5 war wagons reinforcing. These will be microed down actually into the Sours one by one. Skirm's still alive. It's just Sepoys behind this. That war wagon batch is coming at a very crucial time in here to reinforce this position. Minutemen will come out behind. Obviously, these guys only having a 0.2 multiplier versus villagers. Tanking, firing the villagers. It used to be a great play. But unfortunately, not enough damage to even kill the 1 vil because Lukas, he's got his great coats. And we know about players with great coats, they're great players themselves. And what that first fight would be a little bit of a dicey situation. It's come back in a strong situation. We have Colonial Uhlans on top of villagers. But even still, this is a fight that I feel that Uhlans can quite happy take versus Well, maybe it's not quite happily because these are Sours are carded, but even then, it's still slightly more HP for the Sours, but a lot less attack versus Uhlans, and Uhlans just ripping through this specialized cavalry that the Indian player has and back into the main base. Well, the Skirms, Warwaggons just holding back, but again, that's another fine exchange there for Lukas, because that's just more experience points for him. I'm sure he's sending the big boy 9 Ulan shipment. There it is on the field. 9 veteran Ulans now behind as well, so he just got the tech in, and this extra batch of skirmishers with these Ulans, 13 Ulans, 12 skirmishers, and the 5 war wagons, most crucially there, the back line forming a very strong kind of defensive role for the skirmishers, allows them to push forward. And yeah, Lukas taking the initiative here in this final game, crossing the middle map. And India's Age 2 just hasn't quite worked. It's not really getting the mass out behind that I'd hoped for. That's early exchanges has gone. The first exchange was in Indian favour, but that second one so in favour of Germany. And yeah, you may have a massive eco, but when you have great raids on the top side, putting pressure on your villagers again, oh, brutal. And yeah, the war wagons pushing forward. The Sours, Sea Poison, and Rajputs are like, yeah, no, I'm not engaging those skirms. It's tough. There's villagers going down in the coin mine. And yeah, 5 Sepoys being sent. Double Rajput production as well. Ezad, of course, the GG's well played. But I think he's happy to take this resignation here, knowing that this matchup's probably a bit of a tough matchup here from the Indian point of view. And that the other games were utter crackers, I gotta say. Game 3 and 4 was certainly spectacular to watch. And I commend the players for it. But that's the final game. A bit more of a standard play, a bit more business as usual for the semi-FF gang, or in Lukas's case, the FF here, and just exposing India's weakness for strong timing attacks in the third age. And I don't think Ezad did too much wrong, really, this game. Just playing against a strong player with a Civ he likes to play a lot, looks like. Anything else really here to look into? View post-game here, timeline. Not really, just you could say equal trade, but then that second fight just went so more favouring Lukas, especially because mainly because it's the reinforcing batch of war wagons crosses in and reinforces at a strong timing. Meanwhile, you do see a couple Ulan raids behind, just really picking apart Ezad's eco, really hurting. And this should be a point where Ezad's eco should be much higher than Lukas's. It is high because the wood trickles. You know, you got to remember that is true at that moment in time. But it's not large enough difference between the economies to fund a inferior unit production versus what German can field. And I think one thing which made the German player here in a stronger position was the early church. Trading post and a church, getting that shipment progression going along, no units in Age 2, fine position Age 3. Maybe a few players will be praying to the Church of Garja for inspiration and thanking Lukas for this lovely build order. But yeah, for this series, it's over. Thank you for watching. Thanks to the players for playing. And it's time for my dinner as well. So thank you guys for watching.